I respect your honesty. This capitalism, this profiteering, this warmongering is your religion. It's your religion, my brother. I understand. I hear it and I understand. Lakum dinukum waliya din. You have your religion, I have my religion. Thank you for being honest. But what I want you to do from this point onwards is to go and spread your religion to people who are Jews and Christians and tell them what is the law of the Bible. Go and tell them, go and preach it. So at least they can make an informed decision. Do they want the maximization of global well-being, or do they want the maximization of the well-being of Jews and a certain group of people?
Yeah,
go and teach them. Go and teach them
Matthew, what religion are you?
Go and teach them the religion of Judaism. Please, brother. I respect it.
Matthew, what religion are you? What do you believe in?
I am Khomeinist.
You believe in Khomeini?
Yeah, I'm a Khomeinist.
You believe in the Islamic Republic?
Of course.
Why would you believe in that? Because especially now, since there's like 50,000 demonstrators on the street within 2 days.
50,000, bro? It was 1 million. Why do you hackers keep reducing the number?
The conversation is about to get real stupid.
You're lying to the people. It was 1 million. The IRGC killed 1 million people.
During the lifetime, Matthew, during the lifetime, they probably did kill 1 million.
Bro, the IRGC, this guy, Reza, I'm so sorry to the rest of the audience. Please apologize. I apologize on Reza's behalf. He's lying about the IRGC. The IRGC, they have tails, they have horns, and they are breathing fire, and they're going to break through Alexander's Gate, and they've killed up to now 1 million people. Please don't believe Reza's bullshit answer of 50,000.
So wait, Black, I have a question for you. Like, is this like genuinely, is that like your real mindset about how world works and how politics work? Or is that like just like trolling? Because the way you're thinking about things is not real.
It's happening.
No, I mean, I don't. Regardless, like, I'm not saying that Black is a bad person or anything like that. I just think his positions are flawed. Obviously, he's done more research in this field than I have, but I don't think that more war is gonna just keep our whatever.
No, Mr.
I think there's a point of diplomacy eventually that you're gonna get to. But like, I mean, we can just agree or disagree. At that point, everybody has, everybody thinks like there's only one way to do things when it comes to like, especially like this global positioning and things like that.
Listen, but honestly, like, I'm not, like, if Black thinks like that, and he thinks that's his way of winning things, and honestly, like, I think that's very naive, and I want him to think like that. If I was his enemy, I would want him to think like that, because that's where I'm going to get him, right? And obviously, like, the way he thinks, that's not real, and his research is probably based on propaganda, not actual facts. And it's just sad, bro. Like, if you're probably older than me, you need to get real with yourself and think real, because the way you think is not real, and that's probably like corrupting your reality, and it's going to give you a hard time when you get like.
The way you think is real, the way I think is not real. Like,
no, I listened to what you were saying, to how you think about things, and to me, like, I understand biology, and I know that the way you think is not real. You need to deep dive into your soul and free yourself from this mindset that you have.
Oh wow, I'm
not trying to be like hurtful. Even with your own religion, the way you think, if that's your religion, that religion is leading you to destruction. I feel sorry.
You have more legitimacy if you had like just like an atheist perspective. But like, you're a rabbi,
but bro, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. No, but we have to respect. Black is the warrior that comes out onto the battlefield, and he doesn't lie. He doesn't lie to his soldiers. He doesn't lie to the opponents. He says, "I'm a black rabbi. This is our religion. This is the worldview of the Old Testament.
Yeah,
like, do not care about like anyone."
From a moral perspective, you're okay with this ideas? Like, that's I'm surprised. I thought it was talking to like a. Yeah, I just thought it was talking to like somebody that's not religious. I didn't know he was a rabbi.
This is the religion of classical and late antiquity, and the world is pretty much done with it. This is the only group left.
Yeah, man. Come on, dude. You can't be preaching a religion and stuff like that and then saying all these things that you're saying, like, oh, fuck everybody, and it's all about America and our way of living, and then be chilling in Israel and stuff like that. Like,
and Mister, let me correct you on one thing. There is no winning against Islam in Middle East. If you make peace with them, they're gonna win. If you declare war against them, they're still gonna win. There is no win against Islam in Middle East. Period.
First of all, I just want to respond with this. I have not mentioned religion one thing, and in fact, what is the detriment of the Middle East is that they haven't made the separation between church and state, right? Because they haven't done that, their foreign policy, their economics, the social structures are
brother. Israel is led by a Likud party that are radical Zionists. This is their religion. They're not. Israel runs this country, my friend. Your foreign policy that you're propagating, the pictures you're taking in Israel and things like that, you know damn well they have unlimited influence on our politics, my friend.
Absolutely not.
You sat there and freaking sat there and watched that interview with Huckabee. Come on. What conclusions can you derive from that? It's ridiculous. They're running their own version of radical Judaism, Zionism, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's no separation of state, my friend.
Hey, Black Rabbi, I was gonna ask about that. Like, why did Mike Huckabee say that? He said, like, it'd be okay if they took the whole thing. Like, why did he?
Yeah, because that's his ideology. He's a Christian Zionist. He believes that's what God's will is. And then this guy is telling me that the detriment of the Middle East is because we didn't separate the church and state. My brother, this is like, come on, what is that? This whole policy is a Christian Zionist policy. Our whole foreign policy is a Christian Zionist policy. You're trying to mask it into a Christian Zionist, whatever. It doesn't matter. It bleeds over religion, whatever. But it's an ideology. It's not a separation of state and religion.
Yeah, and honestly, like, people talking about like regime change in Iran or like getting rid of the regime. You know what's powerful than atomic bombs or like military things like that? Ideology is powerful. Okay, and that is the ultimate atomic bomb.
Such a unified ideology in the Middle East. I think you guys perceive of it.
Yeah.
In fact, the biggest enemy Tehran is not Israel or America; it's the Gulf states. But this is my point. This has nothing to do with religion. Okay, this is to do with expanding markets.
Oh God!
And creating stability.
So basically, it's just a haves and have-nots, and you don't care about the have-nots. You don't care about the betterment of the world. You don't care about going into a new whatever. You just all you care about is just your day to day. And you're a rabbi. I don't get it. Like it doesn't.
Ooh, you should ask.
I can't square that circle.
No, he's squaring Mr. Black Rabbi is squaring the circle perfectly because there is no squaring of the circle. He's just being a really good Jew. Bro, no, this is their religion.
Yeah. I mean, like honestly,
the Old Testament is all about. Firstly, there's no exclusive monotheism in the Bible, so they don't believe that there's only one God. That's a later invention. There was a divine council, and
what the
God of the Jews said that I am the only God. Black. It's not a distraction. This is your religion.
We're talking about American dominance and we're talking about Jewish faith.
Your want for capitalism.
You don't want to accept American dominance.
You don't. Of course I don't. Yeah, I don't because I care about.
So this. Yeah. Stop making it a personal. Don't make it personal. I'm not talking about you and your faith or anything like that. Let's talk on what's on the table.
You did allude to it. You said the Middle East doesn't separate church and say that's their problem. Blah blah blah. You said that.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, Black.
Okay, so that you did reference and you talked about religion.
I'm talking about me personally.
Black. It's not about.
I'm just curious. Like, how do you come to these conclusions? And you're a Jewish person. Like that's like you're.
So forget about forget about me. Okay, let's talk about philosophical approach. Let's not talk about me.
Yeah. So my philosophical approach is not being that way. I guess is not being in this mindset of capitalistic system and things like that, and getting into a new era of thinking and consciousness.
You know why you're saying that? Because we live in an era where if it feels good, it must be right. And if it doesn't feel good, it must be wrong. And you perceive us dominating, right? Us dropping bombs. Those are instruments of change.
Yeah, I definitely lessen my quality of life just to save some lives around the world. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, you know what?
But I just don't believe. I don't believe those bombing kids and things like that is going to lead us to have better. You can go and talk about it from like a strategy perspective and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm having economics background. I don't think you understand what inflation is and just overspending and things like that. I don't think you've looked at it from that perspective on like what these unnecessary wars are doing. What was that?
Yeah. So, Mr. Actually, you know what? You are a great example. Great example, and I commend you and I respect you. You're a great example of the heart of the American people, right? Mm-hmm. You do represent the vast majority of American people who want to see peace on earth, who want to see equality.
What do you want to see? What do you want to see?
Hear me out. I'm gonna get there. This is what you want, and this is the product of American. This is the product of American infrastructure.
And according to you, it was gained through just bombing people overseas and world dominance.
No. The only difference where we separate, and this is very difficult for Americans to understand, is the reality of the people that we're dealing with in other parts of the world.
Okay. They're boogeymen.
Kendrick Lamar.
They're boogeymen. Just like what they said, they're jealous of our freedoms. So they came and attacked us in 9/11. Let's talk about 9/11. Let's talk about 9/11.
We can go there, but just really quick. They are people that need to be disciplined and ordered. Okay? That's who they are.
God.
And without that,
that's ridiculous. I think you need to be disciplined and ordered. Who's going to discipline and order you?
So what we need to do
is
talk
discipline
about racial change in America. Now, the best.
No, that's ridiculous.
No, we have to change the regime. We have to change the regime in America. We have to change the regime in America.
Yeah, there's no such thing as that these people will kill you.
I'm side of the humanity, my friend. I'm the side of humanity.
The people we're toppling.
Who's going to kill me and my family? Who? Which people?
Okay, so this is bad. Mister, I'm going to make it easier for you. You just heard your buddy
Saddam, Gaddafi.
If we topple the regime in Iran, all hell is going to break loose. There's going to be violence in America. There's going to be violence in other parts.
Because there's been one too many topples of the regime, my friend. What happened in Gaddafi? What happened with Iraq? What happened with all these people? So when are you going to stop? When is the end of this? Like, I don't get it. Like, we already achieved the end is going on. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's when we're going to reach this utopian type of Hunger Games society that you're imagining.
Two good examples. One example is the Somaliland. Right? Another example is Israel. These are two geographical areas that are surrounded by opposite ideologies. What we want to do, the future of America is exporting our ideology outside of the country.
Oh my God, wow.
We're going to take people in different parts of the world that want to live in an American way, and we're going to provide them with weapons, with arms.
What does it mean to be in an American way, to live in an American way? Go ahead.
Exactly the person you are. We want to create more people like you.
I'm telling you that there's plenty of people just like me all over the world.
No, that's not true.
And those people don't want to kill you. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a fuck about you.
They don't, my friend. Stop being brainwashed, my brother. These people don't care about you. They've never thought about you. The only reason why they've thought about you is because you fucking bombed their country. You've killed them. You've done this. So what would you do? What would you do if somebody came, if China one day became power and said, you know what, we're gonna topple this fucking American regime. It's done too much bullshit around the world. And they have the capacity to do it, and they did it. What would you feel about the Chinese government?
My issue would be with God, not the Chinese government.
So now you're turning to God. They're going back to religion.
Yeah, it's the Jewish God. It's the Jewish God that wants capitalism and wants basically well-being of the Jews.
No, brother. It's just you're coming from like this moral high point, like all these people are savages and we need to set them straight. If you never bothered them, they would have never bothered you. We're on a whole other side of the world, my brother.
Yeah, you're black. You and your people represent barbarism, savagery. You represent dark ages.
What makes Americans like not savages?
The world has kind of obliterated all of the groups. The only group that remains like you from like the medieval ages and from classical antiquity is you, and the world will be done with you too. So you can enjoy like whatever this weird kind of feeling of dominance is. But the world is done. The world is done with savagery.
How is America better than China? Go ahead, as a society. Go ahead.
Because China doesn't produce people like you.
Bro, I've met plenty of Chinese people. They're fine people, man. You need to get out more. You need to go touch some grass. You need to travel to other places outside of Israel. You need to like go and travel the world and check few places.
This is why the Islamic Republic.
These people don't hate you, bro. You hate them.
This is why the greater Islamic Republic, after it's done toppling Israel, is going to topple the US, so that we can civilize.
I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later.
You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that.
Hear what? Hear what? What did you say?
We're going to civilize the savages. We're going to
what do I not want to hear?
You don't want to hear.
I seriously gotta go. I gotta whatever. But go ahead. What is it I didn't want to hear?
You don't want to hear that these people want to conquer you.
Oh my God. Okay, man. You've been watching too much Fox News, man. You need to relax with that, dude. Like you gotta go and like go meet some people, bro. You gotta meet some people, man. You gotta really stop falling for this propaganda over and over again. You're being used as a pawn, my friend. You're getting told like this scary story about a boogeyman all over the world, and we need to do this, and like, bro, your mindset's not right.
He's speaking on Clubhouse from one of those tunnels, those Jewish tunnels under the streets. That's where he's speaking from. They don't get let out much. They get let out.
Yeah, man. It's not. You don't have to make it personal. I'm just saying that, bro. Like you should really like actually go meet some people, the everyday person and stuff like that. China produces plenty of people like me, probably better than me. Everywhere else does too. And it's good and bad in everybody. We don't have to fucking be these like enforcers. They don't want to fucking kill us for no reasons. These the only extremism is Zionism right now in the world, and that's the biggest extremism, the biggest problem. The ones that are spreading all this bullshit. It really is in America. Really, our foreign policy is based off of Zionism. You want to be blind to that, but that's fine.
So Zionism is
so whatever it is. So AIPAC and all these people are just giving out money because they're just giving out all this money and stuff because they're just, I don't know, they just like the politicians, and they care so much about American politicians, even though they're a Jewish Zionist organization that cares everything about Israel, but they're just giving them money because they like them, and I guess that's, I don't know why they're so involved in American politics. Why 98% of them are getting funded by
talking points, bro. These aren't even your talking points. These are just things you heard.
Okay.
I could give you.
So how do you go against that? I don't get it. Like, what's your point against it? What do you mean they're not my talking points when I'm talking about it?
Number one, America's security again in this region largely has to do with the military threat of Israel to surround the country. Right? That's number one.
So if Israel wasn't there, everybody would just be like, fucking hate America, man. I want to fucking go over the fucking whole Atlantic and just bomb America.
This isn't about
is that what you're trying to say?
Bro. It's not about hate. That's emotional. It's about
compliance. Why do Middle Eastern people hate us? No, it is about hate. Why? Because you're saying they hate us. Because they're gonna attack us. Why do they hate us? Go.
Because their ideology and their religion says so. We're kuffars.
Oh my God! And we're goyim, my friend. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a goy.
You know, throughout history, like, Christians and Jews and stuff, we've all lived pretty peacefully, even in Palestine. You know that, right? Okay, mostly peacefully.
Any massacres.
So you're going back to religion again. You're saying because it's inherent in Muslim religion. I'm talking to you as a Muslim. We need to kill the kafir. Is that what you're saying?
No, but what I'm saying is, again, this isn't about hate. That's why I tried to remove that word.
No, you're saying that they're inherently bad. You're saying that they're inherently bad. You just said that.
No, what I'm saying to you broadly is that compliance is why America is able to have success.
What is your reason behind why we need to attack the Middle East? Because why not approach it from a diplomatic point rather than blowing the shit up? Why? You just told me with your own words, you said it's because their ideology is bad. Like they're just bad people. Like Muslims, these billions of Muslims around the world are just, their religion just teaches this, and we just need to whatever them. Because if we don't, it's not because of Israel, it's not because of this foreign policy, it's not because of any of that. It's because they just hate us. That doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense to me. I don't know. For me,
they do. They see our way of life.
Oh, okay. All right. That's you stick with that, my friend. I mean, I had a good conversation.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta get going. I appreciate you guys. Bye. Assalamu alaikum, everybody else.
Muslim good.
Of course I'm Muslim. What's wrong? Is it wrong to be Muslim?
No, but that's part of your ideology is connected to that.
Oh yeah, my ideology is to hate you guys, man. All right, that's my ideology. That's what they teach us at the mosque.
You don't want America to have
too much Fox News, my friend. Too much Fox News.
You don't want America to look. But listen to your point. You don't want to have America shouldn't spend tons of money on military. Of course not.
I think they should take a more diplomatic approach.
That's hating America.
Okay. Before I leave, I want to talk to you about the situation with Iran, right? How many times have we went and did we killed Soleimani, we went and bombed them, we had the 12-day war, we did all these things to them, we pulled out of Obama's agreement with them, with the nuclear program agreement, we did all these things to them, but they still want to negotiate with us. If they're so just bloodthirsty, fuck America, blah, 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 why didn't they already fucking attack us? Why didn't they already fucking attack us?
They want to because they don't have we weakened them over the last 40-something years. We weakened them through sanctions, through CIA involvement, through other forms of undermining, like you said, killing scientists, other things. We have to destroy them. There's no option.
All right, guys. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. See you later, my brother.
Oh wait, hold on. You're Muslim? Mister, you're Muslim?
Of course I am. Why?
Oh, hey, Black Rabbi. He is a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's the key right there.
Damn, man. Why are you guys bringing up religion, man?
No, because Black Rabbi, you have a bias, Black Rabbi.
I have a bias against Muslims for sure.
We just found out that he was Muslim right now.
No. I know. Well, sure, but I'm saying. Your bias is
let me tell you something. Like in the movie Lord of the Ring, right? Like, how come they're not successful at getting rid of
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Like, how come they're not successful? Because I'm trying to simplify this for you to understand.
Lord of the Rings is a way of simplifying it?
Yeah, nobody can destroy like the Sauron or the evil man that he is. Or the evil power, nobody can destroy it. The only way they can destroy it is by putting it in the fire but he is from the fire, so you don't really destroy it. You just put it out of existence for a temporary moment. He comes back every time, right? And so Islam is like this giant mountain that's made of rock, really hard rock. And you being America, you can bomb it as many times as you want. It can break into pieces, but it will still remain a rock.
We don't have a problem with Islam. We have a problem with
you cannot weaken ideologies. You cannot do it. And if you think you can, then obviously you're so naive, like naive as worse than a child. Like you probably want to jump in a fire, you know? Like your mind doesn't have the understanding of telling you, hey, don't jump in the fire. But you would jump in the fire because you don't understand the fire.
Like I said, the issue is, and actually I'm hearing the adhan right now being said in Jerusalem, right? But the point is it's not a war against Islam. It's a war against radical Islam.
No. Don't gaslight me. Don't gaslight me. If you're killing Muslims in their homes, no. If you're killing Muslims in their homes, in their country, in their land, that is war against Islam, period.
That's how you
Of course that's how I see it, because it is about me.
Understand.
You're gaslighting me. You're saying that what is happening to Muslims is not true.
No, it's about
You're like a fucking idiot at this point. Like you are so dumb. Like your reality is so corrupt to the point that you're not even a human anymore. Yeah, it is.
Your reality is
yes, and you're so like stupid about how you understand the reality and how politics works around the world.
That's a primitive.
If you you don't know what America learned as a lesson and when going to war in Iraq. Okay, and guess what? America like pulled their last base from Iraq in like last month because they couldn't continue there, right? And in Middle East, you can never win. Okay, you can never win. That's why Islam was born there, right? It born there because nobody can like beat them. Nobody. Even if you bomb their country, they will still be as powerful.
Again, you want to make it about Islam. Our issue is radical Islam. We love Muslims. Muslims are good people. Muslims contribute to America. They contribute to our military, to our infrastructure, to innovations. They're high-income earners, very educated people. We don't have, except for the Somalis, right? But other than that, we have a great relationship with Muslims, and we have our greatest allies in the world.
You don't have great. You have interest in Muslims and Islam. Your interest is to take away their everything. Take away their livelihoods, take away their resources, take away their lands. That is, your relationship is based on interest. And you're so fucked up for that. Like, you're not even a human if you think like that. And you know what? If you think like that, you're in for a very short-term power. And, it's sad because if you think like that, you're actually thinking for destruction of your own self in your own existence. So get ready when your entire world collapses. Your reality collapses when America collapses and Israel collapses, and they're both the same Satan. Okay, the little Satan and the big Satan. They're two faces of the same coin. And you know what? I feel bad for you when that happens. Like you're gonna I don't know. I hope you don't commit suicide because you're not gonna be able to process what just happened. Your mind is not going to process because you didn't take the time to understand things in life. You just your mind is just gravitating towards Fox News, propaganda, false facts, everything. And for short-term stuff, that's not how it is. You're very naive at this age that you are, and that is very sad, to be honest.
What does naive mean to you? Like you keep saying that. What is naive? Like describe to me what naive.
The way how you think, that means someone who doesn't know anything is just the way how everyone saw how everyone heard you speak. Everyone know the way you think about life and world and power and politics. So they know what naive is, and that's what you are. So I don't need to define it. You define it with your own words.
I just trying to understand what you're saying. But anyways, like I said, it's fine. We disagree, but it's important for Americans to hear, that you see that. I personally think America, like I said, has a great relationship with Islam. We want to see a more moderate form of Islam around the Middle East. We don't want to see radical extremism. And I think that the Middle East is going to be a great place for business. The $21 trillion that have been pledged by Gulf countries is going into building AI centers and all different types of, innovation. Saudi has a super city they're trying to build. So I just see nothing but this complete connectivity, unity. Israel's working great. Went to a security alliance recently with Syria, which they were enemies at a point for I don't know how many decades. I mean, since the inception of Israel. I mean, these are historic landmarks. Relationships with Egypt, Egypt and Jordan are dependent on Israel for certain resources. The Gulf countries are aligned, and I think once we knock out Iran, you're going to see Reza. Kitover, I can't even say his name. He's saying he's going to normalize relationships with Israel.
No, I mean, let me tell you, you're so hopeful, and this is what naive means, because you're hopeful for false reasons. America has done too much damage in the world to have a future. It's not going to exist. Okay, and you're talking about like, oh, you have allies. No, you don't.
Wow.
Yeah, what America has done in past, in their history to other countries, they basically seal their own fate. The end is coming, and it's here.
These allies that you keep talking about, it's interesting. It's really interesting, kind of hearing like the Zionist playbook verbalized by Black American. So how many allies? Yes, how many allies are we talking about? How many nation states do you think are your allies? What, 20, 30, 50?
You think in the Middle East or in the world?
No, global actually.
Oh man, was there 190 countries? I mean, you could say like, more than 70+% have some type of working relationship with the United States.
Okay, so should we go with like 160 just to round it up?
I don't know. Maybe. I think you could just chat GPT. I mean, it's a great question. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
so what you're forgetting is that you're just talking about the state leaders. So when you say 160 nation states, what you're actually talking about is like 160 people versus hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of Muslims. So Israel has taught you like a good boy to believe the propaganda that the allies of your country are the allies of all the people in those countries. But that's like the home that the Quran talks about, that the home of the spider is built on a flimsy home, the spider web. It's just going to all come crumbling down, and the trajectory is against you. Yeah. So you are there in your kind of whatever, like the tunnel that you're broadcasting from right now, underground. You believe these lies. They've lied to you, and they've said, you know what, you want to win? Be with us. Look at the map. Look at all these countries. They're just naming nation states. They're just naming 160 individuals. And you could say, okay, they each have like a circle of around 100. So let's multiply 100 by 170. Right, what is that, 17,000? Something like that, or 1,700? No, 17,000. So there are 17, let's say 20,000 people. Let's say 50,000. In fact, let's say 100,000 people are on your side. You're forgetting the hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that are very soon going to wake up to the idea that the Islamic Republic is their only hope. And once they unite around the Islamic Republic, once they unite around the Islamic Republic, bro, forget weapons. They're just going to walk into Israel.
You know, it's interesting.
Do you disagree?
No, I not only do I disagree. I have a frame of reference I think you should look at. You know, I'm from Los Angeles. You know, I've been living in Israel for a while, right? And the thing you learn something really interesting about human nature, right? And when you see people, like, for example, you have Palestinians here in Israel, right? So where I'm in Jerusalem, which is like probably a 2-hour drive away from Gaza, right? You go another 2 to 4 hours, I'm in, close by the border on Lebanon and Syria, right? The Golan Heights up there. The thing that's interesting is going through the war, going through this whole thing for 3 years, is that you see something interesting about human behavior, that if people's basic needs in this generation, maybe in the past 100 years ago it's different, but if people's basic needs are met and they have a strong frame of security and they have an ideological outlook that is perpetuated in their environment, like outlook, goals, how they live, this type of thing, they're pretty much docile, right? I see people all the time. I walk down the street and you see people cleaning, people walking, this, and you think, like, it doesn't matter. They have these simple lives, and they really don't care about more than past that. And it was a struggle for me growing up because I always had so much ambition. Like, why isn't more people? The thing is, that's the beauty of capitalism, right? Because it creates an environment where a person can create their independent philosophical approach, maintain their own standard of living, and increase it, right? And tune out the rest of the world. And that's what I've seen here with the Palestinians. They're not concerned what's going on in Gaza. When I walk out, I see these kids at cafes, I see these girls at university. That's what I see. I don't see an angry group of people that their cousins, right, literally hours away are being massacred. I don't see that. I see people living their life. Now, you on the outside will say, well, one day they're going to rise up and they're going to come together. No, that's not the case. And that's the same thing in Iran. That's the same thing in Iraq. That's the same thing in anywhere else America's had intervention. The people are docile. You saw Israel level the Syrian military. Nobody did anything. Not one Muslim country, not even factions of dissidents even inside of Syria.
That's just another lie. But I understand. I understand the argument. Yeah, you're right. When most people's basic needs are met, you're absolutely right. They are less likely to revolt. But here's the problem. The problem is that social media and people's exchange of ideas happens at a speed that never happened before. So you can't rely on what happened in the medieval times or in the beginning of the 20th century. If I was speaking to you 5 years before the Islamic Republic, 5 years before Khomeini's revolution, you'd be telling me the same thing. You'd be like, people are not going to rise up against the Shah. It's not going to happen. There's no way it can happen. People's basic needs are met or whatever. But then it happened. The same thing with South African apartheid. People were saying for decades, it's not going to happen. You can't get rid of the apartheid. It's too strong. And it was true. And then it happened. And it's the same thing with the toppling of the US. People saying it's a superpower. It's not going to happen. And then it's going to happen. So this lie that you've been taught by your senior white Jewish rabbis, the ones that control you and manipulate you, they've been lying to you. You've been sold on this lie, which is a Zionist playbook. As long as people are,
I can't just be a brilliant guy, right? Someone has to train me how to think.
No, you haven't been to think. You've been trained how to lie. And this idea that people don't revolt once there's a threshold that's met is also a lie. People are impassioned about the fact that Israel is just barbaric. Your country, your people, black, your people are just barbaric, and they don't like that. They don't want it. They may stay. They will stay.
My ancestors created the whole idea.
You're barbaric, and the people that you support are barbaric, and we've already established that. You've admitted it. You don't care. You don't care. Yeah, you said you don't care about global well-being. I think that you're barbaric. I mean, you even support barbarism. You support Israel leveling this place and that place. So you're just a barbarian. But that's your religion. Your religion is Judaism, and I respect that that's your religion. I respect
that. Nothing to do with Judaism. That's your American outlook.
The mistake that you make is you think that your religion is like our religion. You think that those Muslims that you quote, those house Negroes that you call Muslims, those are not Muslims, right? They're kuffar. They are kuffar. They are our social political.
And that's the power of the idea.
We don't consider. We don't even look at them. We touch them and we wash our hands. We're not interested. We're not interested. We're not interested in house Negroes. What we're interested in is Muslims who are revolutionary, who care about the Muhammadan movement, and that's not something you can vanish. It's not going to vanish, my brother.
We don't need to vanish it. We just need to.
You can't vanish it. No, you can't. All we need to do is revolutionize. We need to revolutionize people to wake up to the fact that
we don't want to wake anybody up. We want everyone to go to sleep.
The vision to topple the Israel's satellite regimes around the world, including the Middle East, can happen within weeks. That's all we need to do.
Okay.
And now
you'd be
dealing with 1 billion Muslims strong. And we'll just
I don't believe that. I don't believe
so.
I think,
Yes,
I think
it's going to be tough. It'll be tough, and then it will happen.
Hey, you know what? It's a great dream. I get it, and this is why we have to be vigilant on our side. And the people you see as kuffars, we have to empower them with weapons.
They're weak, bro. The people that you have on your side are so weak. They just believe anything. The people on our side will walk into your country.
We have technology.
We'll take over the White House. We'll paint it green, white, and red.
You can't even build your own country.
We'll get rid of all the drug rehab centers. We'll
organize yourself.
We'll push the Zionists back into all the Zionists will be underground.
But you can't even manage your own country.
So you'll be
talk about take over anything.
Yeah. That's the dream that you've been told.
No, you guys can't. Right now,
you've been told.
You guys can't even in this region manage countries.
You are basically.
Look what Assad did to his citizens.
You are basically.
Look what Saddam did to his citizens. Look what the Iraqis did to their citizens.
You are the textbook myth.
You cannot manage society.
You are the textbook myth that all people were born evil. This is a motif that is repurposed in paintings and art and film and TV show, where you have one side who believes in humanity of people and another side saying, no, people are corruptible. You think that everyone is corruptible because you are a Satan. You are a Jewish Satan. You don't care. This is your religion. And I respect that you're honest about your religion, but our religion will prevail.
I never mentioned anything about religion.
All you care about is those 300 individuals.
You don't want to.
Those 300 individuals. Those 300 individuals that are currently occupying the majority countries.
Your Allah cannot stop it.
Your God, your pathetic little God.
I'm just saying you cannot stop America.
Your anthropomorphic retard God that you still believe is real, that is in the Old Testament.
We're dominating.
That is an emo rage bait bitch, a little bitch that your God is. That is already dead. The only thing we need to demonstrate is the people who still believe in that spastic God that you believe in, that you worship. That spastic God died
many millennia ago. B-2 bombers.
That little retard God that you believe in.
The skies and the tyrant.
We'll see. Yeah, come back in a year and we'll see what happens. But Matthew wants to say something. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, I did actually. Rabbi, I think we agreed last time we met that you're going to get some counseling. I thought we agreed on this. Okay, so obviously
I don't know yet. So,
well, you do remember me. You remember me for a minute. I remember the last time you spoke when the 12-day exchange was happening. I remember in day 2, you said that we're going to change the regime. The Israeli put it in the Iranian face. Actually, I think it would happen the other way around, didn't it, Rabbi? I think people had you screaming outside the bunker, but they wouldn't allow you to bitch ass inside the bunker. I think they would consider going, wasn't it?
Only the citizens in Gaza had bunkers. So
people had your speech. I think after the remaining 3 days, everybody saw the Buddha came out of the Israeli face. Wasn't that true, Rabbi? Israel proved to be a bitch, just like everybody knows. The only army in the world, by the way, that issued blood diapers. I hope they gave you some as well. I thought we agreed on this. Remember, I was remembering you.
I don't remember.
Now look at us. We're going to put the Israeli boot on the Iranian face. I think it's the other way around, isn't it, Rabbi? Anyway, so obviously, I think you're the only one who does this.
Assalamu alaikum. Hold on, Mahdi, bro. Let me give my salams to my brothers. Yo, fuck Ali Baba. How about that? Fuck Ali Baba.
Alright, I'm out. It was good talking to you guys.
All right, Black.
Oh, come on.
Well done, Matthew. Good for drag. I've never met Black Rabbi, but the one thing I do respect, and I mean this genuinely, is that he is honest. He's honest that this is the religion of Judaism, that this is basically capitalism, They don't care about social welfare and social by welfare, I don't mean like social welfare. I mean the well-being of society. They don't believe in global maximization of global well-being. They believe in the well-being of Jews and anyone who is a slave for them. And he cited Muslims, and he is right that there are millions of Muslims around the world who are docile. But all that needs to change is we need to revolutionize them, and that trajectory is already in place. So I hope that he returns in about a year or 2 years' time to see what the state of play is.
Well, he hope he doesn't go to the Nuremberg courts to answer for support of Zionism like lots of fascists did in the past. What he also doesn't realize that is Israel, even amongst its former Zionist allies, has become an embarrassment, an absolute embarrassment, this country. Even the actual Zionist allies in the past, they're turning their back on it, just like the Klingons do. Full turn on the back. It's a silly embarrassment. It's going to implode. There's no future for this country.
Yo, can someone reset the room? What are you guys talking about?
We're just talking, well, we were just kind of like, we've just been talking about the Islamic Republic versus Israel and their slaves, and Black Rabbi was just telling us where their mind's at.
But I can't read what's on the cards, and the great USA itself, actually, I hope Donald Trump doesn't ruin it, because the country has lots of potential. One of his biggest Achilles heels is Israel. And in the past, this country, although it has lots of potential, is led by monsters. These guys that go to Epstein Island, obviously they're not doing very well for it. So it has been defeated decisively in depth in the paddy fields of Vietnam. It's been decisively defeated in depth in the mountaintops of Afghanistan. It's been decisively defeated in depth in the streets of Iraq. And like I said, I just don't know where this guy's going. It's really crazy. He's thinking of attacking friend and foe. Even friendly countries, Canada, Greenland. This guy is crazy, absolutely crazy. Man, even with all this ice in his own country, doesn't understand this is the wrong trajectory. This is how actually empires implode. Forget about somebody attacking them. This is how they will implode. Look at somewhere like China. It's actually more freedoms, more liberty, more R&D, more human rights, more investment, more economy, more people being lifted out of poverty, more space programs. They're going the right trajectory. And these other countries are going wrong trajectory. This is how, I don't know, it's only Black Rabbi that doesn't see it. Everybody can see. This is exactly how empires collapse and how empires are built.
Well, America hasn't collapsed yet, bro, and they own the world.
Well, it hasn't.
So I don't know what you're on about.
Saves it from the craziest.
Who's going to save it, bro? Look, the Z's own it. Oh, we're on Clubhouse. I can finally use the word. The Zionists own the world and they own America. Like, what do you want about right now? I'm not really understanding what you're saying.
That's you just spotted out there.
What's the ruin of the U.S.? The U.S. is the most functional government in the world. What do you want about?
But it's going all in the wrong direction.
Who said that? Who said that? They own everything. Oh, so if someone owns everything, they're in the wrong direction? Have you heard of BlackRock? Like, what are you on about right now? I have no idea what you're saying, man.
Brother, from the 2001, this country announced this is the new American century. What's definitely clear? Every day that slaps is everybody's century except the US. It's going all the wrong direction.
I have no fucking idea what you're on about. Like, can you just give me concise answers? Like, what are you on about, bro?
The US.
America owns the world. They own economics. So what are you on about?
I'm done.
Yeah, Ibn, what, man? I'm pissed about Alibaba. What, man?
What did Alibaba do?
It's none of right now. Let me just deal with Mahdi. It's whatever right now. I need to target my rage towards someone, bro.
Don't do it on me. Don't do it.
Well, don't target. Well, what happened? What did Alibaba do? What did he do?
Let me target my rage towards someone.
No,
Matthew.
No,
Matthew.
Okay, fine. Because Matthew says
target it at target at CM.
Why CM?
What did you do? CM will take the hit. It's fine. He won't know what's going on anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, what did Alibaba do that made you say?
this fucking guy, bro. Look, I go on his live and I'm talking to Rafid. Look. What I'm really trying to do behind your guys' backs, right? Behind the brethren's backs, I'm trying to unite the Shia. Look, you can disagree with our beliefs. Bro, if the Salafis and the Ash'aris can unite, maybe we can unite too. And I'm trying to bring that up. And Ali Baba calls me a kafir. He says, man, we can't even sit with you guys. My nigga, me and you were boys 2 years ago. I have your personal number and you have my personal number. And we used to chat it up. And now you're treating me like some kind of kafir. And he says, yo, you, Hamza, should have your head removed from your neck. Oh, yo, dog. What? I lost it, dog. Yo, Ali Baba, what's going on? Me and you were boys, and now you act like Salafi, and he throws me down in the audience. And him and Hoodie and this other guy, Haidar, I don't know who they are, they keep talking shit for like 30 minutes, and I keep asking them, bring me up, let me defend my positions, and Ali Baba is the worst of creation. And now I'm on a personal mission. I'm going to destroy Ali Baba. That's all I care about. Mahdi, I could care less. Mahdi's a dumbass. We're all, no offense, Mahdi, like we love you, by the way, but we think you're dumb, to be honest, and you can like stay in your position.
But we agree with causes. Let me put it this way.
Look how Mahdi agrees with me.
No, good causes. I promise you this.
Habibi, I love you. At the end of the day, I don't want to separate your head from your neck.
That's a good
But Ali Baba should be our If I'm going to make a notion to the brethren. Ali Baba and not really Rafid, but especially Ali Baba, should be someone we should go after and destroy this motherfucker for the way he speaks about us. Wallah, like.
Yes. I agree, Hamza.
Okay, well let's at least have a to and fro. So why does Ali Baba even matter? Let's be honest. If he were in front of you in real life, would you even like look at him twice?
Oh, I'd lick my hand and smack him in the face for the least.
It doesn't matter, bro. Go after the heads of the snake. You know them.
Ali Baba, Ali Baba. Look. Now let me be real. Ali Baba is a charismatic figure in their spaces. He speaks. He is, Ibn. He is, bro.
Even bathe,
CM says. Oh, here's what CM says. He's not in the audience. He keeps saying, I'm afraid to talk to him, bro. Like, I literally invited him up 30 minutes ago. Yeah, why would we care about CM and Ali Baba and these just idiots? What we care about is Allah Yari. What we care about are the Qazwinis. Let's expose them. Yeah, that's true.
See, my friend Ali Qazwini is my boy.
Yeah. Let's see how far that relationship will go.
Yo, we're about to destroy your boy, bro. Like Habib said, we're about to destroy your boy.
I'm about to smash your boy.
Everyone is a boy until it matters. That's how Allah distinguishes between the Muslimin and the Kuffar. Right, Chuck?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
شهر رمضان مبارك يا تشك.
شهر رمضان أنزل فيه القرآن.
Yes. Ramadan Mubarak, boys. What's going on?
Do you break your fast with going to Erwan?
No, I date.
Oh, nice.
I have a date every night. What about you?
I have 7 dates every night.
Sant, man.
Wait, are they Ajwa? If they're not Ajwa, then you're not necessarily protected from black magic.
For all of my dates are Jordanian.
Or any magic, for that matter.
My dates are Jordanian. I'm going to revolutionize them.
Jordanian, damn, Matthew. That's good. Damn.
We need to check the barcode on those.
I have a new goal. My new goal is to impregnate as many Jordanian women as possible.
Yes. You're going to defeat that. That's such a basic thing.
Like Santa Claus. I'm going to utilize Mut'a and I'm going to revolutionize Jordanians to stop.
Matthew is so based.
I'm so based, I'm going to get rid of the air bases of the US and Jordan.
Allah.
Maybe I'll have to give myself like a 1 month break, like in between.
Damn. MashaAllah, man. May Allah give you more strength.
Maybe that's what Mut'a is for. What if Mut'a is simply political?
Rabbi Shmuley. Where's the black rabbi?
Is any game when Matthew is saying?
Basically, it's just a simple network. Get the Khums money. Part of the Khums money is towards like revolutionizing a particular people, and then you give the money. The women accept. You revolutionize them through multiple means.
Yo, dog, hearts and minds. You gotta get hearts and minds first.
Exactly. Some say you have to win the hearts and minds. Others say you have to win the hearts, minds, and the ass. Yes. Bro, whatever it takes to export Islamic Republic.
I missed you guys. How are you guys?
We are. Yeah, Ibn al-Juray, Allah Habibi.
We are better every day.
We're chilling, man. Ali Baba pissed me off today, but we're chilling normally.
That's why I troll to a room and I see him in the audience. I troll him. I'll be like, yo, he's trying to make people eat haram food. He believes that Prophet Muhammad pimped his daughter. Guys, stay away from Ali Baba, and he goes crazy.
I hate this guy. I hate him. I hate this fucking guy. And I never say that about him, bro.
You want to go and talk up Agent?
What'd you say?
You want to go talk Ali Baba, me and you?
He won't even fucking let me up this fucking kafir, bro. He's a Salafi at this point, man. Fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy, man. He's never welcome to. If I'm ever mod, I'm muting him right away.
By the way, just in case people don't know, yes, there are some traditionalist, dogmatist Shia Muslims who they say things like, may Allah bless the plane that bombed one of the leaders of resistance against the
I know.
There are traditionalist 12 Shias who praise Israel for demolishing Palestine.
La'anatullah on them.
And you want to know why they say that? You want to know why? It's
Why?
because they're opposed to the Islamic Republic. And you know why they're opposed to the Islamic Republic?
Why?
Because they believe in a 12th Imam that is an occultation. And the reason why they're so visceral against the Islamic Republic is because they believe that the Islamic Republic is competition for a legendary invisible figure. Now the question is, well, not all traditionalist 12ers are like that. True. That's true. So what's the reason? What's the symmetry between 12er traditionalist Shia Muslims who oppose the Islamic Republic and 12er traditionalist Shia Muslims who support the Islamic Republic? What's the symmetry breaker? That's the reason.
Question. That's a good question. What is the symmetry breaker?
Well, it's something we have to dissect in complete depth.
Yeah, definitely. I would say with how you were born, where you're from has a big issue, impact on that.
Yeah.
The family.
But what's the theme? What's the sufficient reason?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about why I support Sayyid Ali Khamenei. And it's to do with how I was raised. It's one of the main reasons.
Nassar, isn't Ilyas Nassar?
Anybody who supports the resistance is Ibn Halal, and anybody who's against it is Ibn Zina. That's the only symmetry breaker.
It has to be.
MashaAllah.
I said Nassar and he left. I don't know. Hadi, Ilyas, are you there?
Yeah, these guys are pretty quiet.
I think they're asleep. I think Ilyas is fast asleep. Right now, Ilyas is doing.
Maybe that biryani was too much. After fasting, iftar time.
Bro, I bet Chuck has the best.
I had to make biryani yesterday myself, and I turned it into a risotto.
It's okay. May Allah reward you for trying that, inshallah.
I ate today Iraqi biryani. One of my clients got it for me, and it's a big L compared to Indian and Pakistani biryani.
Oh,
bro, you're not galvanizing the Iraq audience.
I can't lie about that. It's not even close. Iraqi or the Pakistani and Indian biryani is completely different impact.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everyone knows that. That's true. I don't know what happened with South Asia. South Asians are the smartest people. Essentially. what happened with the accidents, I don't know. They had the best metaphysics.
Yeah.
That was stuff.
Bro, it's the chili, man. I'm telling you, wallahi, the secret to everything.
Yeah.
It's not the chili. I think it's the chili.
We have to investigate.
No, Allah just made a deal with them that I think Russell Peter was the one who gave the secret that God made a deal with these South Asians that I will make you so intelligent and so smart, but here's the catch: you guys have to be unbelievably.
I don't know. I feel like today it's a little different than what it was before.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's where the accidents came on. But the essence is they were far advanced. Look at something happened in the Indus Valley.
It's I would have to say it's the Zionist regime.
Oh yeah.
When the Zionists took over India, they took a big L. It become very dramatic, very national racists.
Oh, I just noticed the audience. Anyone in the audience, if you're still listening, feel free to come up and we can discuss anything. As long as you're not a Pahlavi supporter, we'll treat you with respect. And Olivia, this is the second time you've raised your hand, and I keep accepting, but you don't come up. Maybe it's a glitch or something. Maybe someone else can bring you up.
Hey, sorry, did you call me, Matthew?
Yes, Shakespeare has opened a live on TikTok. Should we all go to Shakespeare?
Who's Shakespeare? Is it Ali?
Ali, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can go there.
Yeah, let's all go there. Let's just suddenly, ambush him.
Okay, let's go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
The sins of their father.
Quite literally, right? Because here's the thing. If you defend your father and you feel like you have an honor or some kind of, I don't know, magical tie to the actions of people that you're related to, that stops you from thinking of yourself as an individual, and it stops you from acting as an individual when you defend people in your own in-group, right? I couldn't give a fuck if everybody in my in-group, I'm never going to defend them.
Okay, so how does this logic work when, say, you're looking at a group of people? Are you just looking at the people for how they show up at one given point in time? Let me finish.
Right.
Are you looking at how they show up at one point in time, or are you going to try and look at some history, politics, maybe culture? Are you going to look at things that transcend that moment in time, or are you only going to look at just them as a snapshot in time?
So I can do now. I'm Slovak, right, Chris? So my family comes from Slovakia, and it did horrendous things to the Slovaks as well as the Ukrainians. And I mean, all in all, I can't blame Ukrainians for absolutely despising Russians, because as far as I understand, the vast majority of Russians are kind of rolling with what Putin is saying. There's a lot of good people there that don't like it, right? But I'm speaking to my ideals. So my ideals is, if I met a Russian person, I would do my very best to try to look at them as an individual and not make assumptions if I can. Because, if people just keep holding grudges forever and ever, there's never going to be any peace in this world, ever.
Well, I think the reason I gave the example that I did was that we were assuming that the only thing that can be held is a grudge, right? There are other things that stick to people, right, that are not just grudges.
Of course.
Yes. So when we understand that, okay, the way that other people or community or society or parenting styles, the effects of being raised by emotionally unavailable parents, the effects of growing up in an area that doesn't have access to this, that, and the third, right? How those things disproportionately affect people, right? You're still going to hold a certain probability based on some other factors and conditions that I think have to be looked at before you can just say, like, the same way that someone shouldn't have to pay for the sins of their father, that someone is not affected by the consequences of other people or the material harm that surrounds them. I mean, is that not like...
But I lost some respect. Why y'all try to make it sound good, but at the same time, this is what I see. Y'all go to other people's countries and put them in jeopardy lifestyle, right? See, this the shit. Take that shit over Russia.
You're generalizing. You're generalizing too much.
You know what I'm saying? Take that up with them. Don't bring that bullshit to a real American. We don't have shit to do with that. You talking about Trump? Yeah. Don't put us in that shit. Let's talk about we need your help. Hey, they're trying to kill us. I don't give a fuck that shit up with them. Don't bring that shit over here with us. We don't have problems over here. We enjoy ourselves. We like to see ourselves grow. Enjoy our benefits of what we do. Why is you trying to bring us into your bullshit? Your bullshit tactic. That's what I see. When you play chess, you don't see black and white, white and black. You see black with black color and white with white.
Can you give an example? What do you mean?
Do you know how to play chess?
No, bro, I'm just asking for an example just so it's clear in my mind.
Right. I'm asking you a question. Do you know, you see the pieces on the board, chess, all colors is with the same color, right? You don't have black and white on one side, and you don't have white and black on the other side. You have color with color and white with white. So why are people today in this mind frame, why are you trying to mix race people, different races?
See, okay.
Right, why are you trying to mix different races? If that's what they do over in Africa, if that's what they do over there in Europe, let Europeans deal with Europeans. Let Africans deal with Africans. Let Americans deal with the real Americans. White folks is not American. You're a citizen, really not even a citizen. Y'all still illegal. Y'all really still illegal.
Well, I think we can rip on this idea a little bit, right? We can, like, just like, you know, like your chess analogy totally makes sense. So I think the same thing should be done with the genders too, right? Like, let, like, you know, all the men live in the western half of the country, and all the women can have the eastern half.
See,
right? Like, why should we allow gender mixing?
There go the stupidity right there. Why we can't have our women and y'all have y'all women? Why is y'all women trying to mix with us? And see, this that bullshit.
No, I'm just taking it off them further. Hey, bro.
Take all tactics, bullshit. You're right.
So there are a lot of people that feel the same way.
I'm so confused. Why not? Okay, here's another thing, right? Like, why don't we just separate adults and children, right? Keep the adults on one side, like on the north, and children on the south, right?
Y'all see how that shit go. That's what I'm talking about. European bullshit. Let our kids be ours. We don't want y'all to be with us mixed in.
I agree. I'm not sure you understand. I'm just taking your chess analogy to the next level. In fact, we can go even further, right? Since we're basing all our decisions on the way chess works, right? Like, you know how in war right now, right? Like, we have, you know, you have your infantry, your tanks, and so on. And like in chess, right? Like, you know, like the pawns are always in front, right? So let's just do the same thing with children. Next time we go to war, let's just take all our 5 and 6 year olds and just line them up in front, right? As cannon fodder.
No, take that. We don't need that shit in America. Take that bullshit schooling. We don't teach that to our children. You're teaching them.
But you've been teaching us about how everything. You've been teaching us about how like chess is like, you know, the way to think about these things, right?
Okay, here's where I'll build a bridge with what Wu was saying, right? Like, in Western society, right, people prioritize logical, analytical ways of like thinking so much more, right, than other forms. People have historically, you know, walked into different. Somebody's off a mic. It's throwing me off. Somebody's off like how mic, but like have gone into other countries, other communities, other nations, written down, recorded that information, and then it becomes, you know, held to a higher level or standard than like what has actually upheld culture and tradition, which has been like spoken language or dance or other things like that. Which is interesting because those are the very things that end up becoming appreciated, like from Black culture, are the things that weren't like, you know, the standard that you had to be able to amount to, like certain type of way, whatever. So there is this myopic, small-minded kind of like just view that kind of gets put over groups of people that actually are revealing more about who we are as human beings, revealing more about our humanity, but are not being appreciated because, you know, that's not the status quo standard per se.
So that was word salad to say, get your ignorant black ass out of here. White folk made the nation that you should be grateful for you still being a part of. Because quite frankly, people like you who are societal misfits and disturbances. Most places will ask security promptly upon you entering or nearing the proximity to leave.
Hey Chris, this is an interesting point. I've heard it before. This idea, like I get what you're saying, and actually, it would be better if we were chatting one-to-one in a smaller room. But I could probably talk on hours for this particular subject, bro. I just I mean. I just want to say that every single country and culture in this world is highly logical in their own way and very highly scientific. There was a kind of bump. No, it's very true. And Mike, I mean, I could probably go on for hours about this, and it's kind of a complicated thing, but yeah, and I am long-winded, but I guarantee you after 30 minutes I can convince you of my point, Mike. I promise you.
Yeah, but look, is that the end of what you wanted to say? Or?
No. So, you know, scientific prowess, whatever cultural prowess, it changes and moves from country to country. Countries that 3,000 years ago were like top of the world and extremely sophisticated are now poor, and vice versa. And you know, 1,000 years from now, it's going to change. Everything changes. It's not as though there's any like inherently superior or less superior scientific-minded people. There's no scientific evidence for this whatsoever. And if you know enough about history and trade routes and the effects of geography on the development of economies and the interlocution of ideals and anyway, so there's a lot of books that talk about this. Entire libraries could be filled with this subject. But anyways, Chris, no, I've heard like this kind of modern, postmodern, left liberal, you know, whatever gender identity studies things, and they're very, 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 very inaccurate. I would look beyond those because, I mean, some of these fucking weird-ass leftist, far left professors, I remember seeing a conference in South Africa where this white dude went on the stage and he tried to tell his black students that, you know, somehow it was a form of racism in the guise of cultural acceptance. Anyways, I could talk more about this later, Chris.
I think I was vibing with you too. You know, you were like, well, this is like a leftist talking point. Because for me, it wasn't like I wasn't resourcing, you know, a particular politic, just rather like a way of thinking, which I think you are too. But like that core criticism of like for me, like core criticism of conservatism is that like it prioritizes preserving like existing structures, even when those structures produce inequality. And it does show up in logic, right? Like even in the conversation we were talking about like you shouldn't have to pay for the sins of, you know, of your father. Okay, that's a logic, right? If we just like take out the variables and just look at the formula, like what are we actually saying, right? That assumes that, right?
That's the ideal, right? Yeah. My ideal, yeah.
Yeah, like we're like we're treating injustice as like a past action instead of like a present condition. That's essentially what the logic says. But then it's like, but then it doesn't become convenient when you take that logic and you apply it outside of, you know, the group of people that disproportionately use that argument of like, why should I have to pay for the sins of my father, right? Like, why is my present condition, you know, compounded in any way because of the decisions of other people.
I think
and who's stating that particular narrative, right? So, the racist sort of thing is like, black people disproportionately commit more crimes than other people. And then if you apply that sins of the father thing, then it would be acting in defense of, trying to view African Americans as individuals and not as the mass, right? So, I get what you're saying, but your logic is dependent not on an ideal that's sort of structured across the board, equal for everybody. Let's all try to view one another as individuals as best as we can and try to view ourselves as individuals. But if you apply that logic from specific facets within larger cultural context, it's just a matter of wrestling narratives. So wrestling narratives never prove out because, either side can play that off of one another, right? They can blame the other. They can look at themselves as the victim. They can place the blame on the other one. And again, it just becomes a blame game. So there's a problem with that as well.
No.
There's no end to it.
No, I've been waiting. Look, I think, let's not get off track. I think Chris was, I don't know, you seem to be, attributing... So look, I don't know. I feel like you're imposing a blame on just the very system of epistemology that I guess has been developed mostly in the West to begin with, right? But I think it's honestly we should view it as a heritage of the world as a whole, right? When we talk about sort of an analytical approach to reasoning about the world and about what truth is and so on, I think there are places where it shouldn't be mindlessly applied, arts and culture, for example, are good examples. Right? There are places where, other kinds of thinking than analytical are applicable, right? But when we're involved in the question of, what is true, right, I think, logic and so on has served us in good stead, and it's a tool that should be available to all, not just, based on, what culture you're from.
No, you guys, we're getting off topic here. I think everyone can agree. Humans are humans. We all agree with that. Let's get back to the topic here. I wanted to ask Will a question, and Chris, feel free to answer.
Before we get back to whatever topic you wanted to get back to, you see the difference I'm trying to make?
Oh, what?
It sounded like you wanted to change the topic, so I was
we just got changed. You said we were getting off track.
You want to change I brought it back on track, yeah.
He don't want to call his 4 5 sins. That's what he's trying to say.
The last thing I just wanted to say about this, because I think it's just important to really make this clear when people say we shouldn't have to pay for the sins of our father, and we're talking about logic, right? That you may not be personally guilty of past injustice, but if you live in a society that is where people are still affected by structural outcomes, then the issue, right, that we're talking about is not a matter of punishment. It's just about responsibility for present inequities, for you to be able to see why things are the way that they are. And it's not about just, paying for the past, but rather it's actually uphold some of the other methods that I guess we hold to such a high ideal, such as the scientific method or understanding context, understanding nuance, all the things that actually make us an intellectual society require for us to dignify that the human experience is more than a snap judgment of what you see, right? That 100%. There has been compounded experiences, whether even if those experiences were wealth or land or access or education or poverty, and all of the results of
any of this have to do with. But what does this have to do with logic, right? Logic is just a system of figuring out what's true, right? Logic, empiricism, analytical thinking. They're tools you can use with you can have way different premises, right? You can have some premise about what it means to have to be responsible for something, right? Whether under what conditions, the sins of the father.
I was just interrogating why a certain logic is a system of rules that we use to determine whether a reasoning makes sense or not. So that's why I was interrogating the logic of that argument.
Okay, so you're not interrogating logic itself, right? You're not questioning the.
No. No.
Well, Chris, to be specific, what I was saying is it's best for, okay, so I feel my ideal is, like I was saying, do not defend, for me, it's personally, right? This is how I run my life. I would never defend someone within my own in-group that does anything bad, right? For me, that's a bad thing. A lot of people will do that. A lot of people will feel emotional attachment to the people within their own in-group, and they will defend all the idiotic and dumbass things that quote-unquote their people do for some god-awful reason. I don't know why, right? I'm not going to defend them. And I think you took my father analogy kind of a bit too far, and it's my fault. I didn't express myself clearly enough. What I meant to say is, like, even if my dad did something stupid, I would never defend them. Now, I'm Slovak, right? So obviously my ancestry has absolutely nothing to do with anything in slavery in the Americas, because my folks were out in the mountains or whatever. And it's just very abstract for me and very strange for me to attribute, responsibility to people for things that their ancestors had done hundreds of years ago, on a personal level, right, Chris? Like on a personal, like interior guilt sort of thing, or even a rational, like straightforward guilt thing. Now, at the same time, I do completely understand your argument, and I'm completely in line with you with the whole systemic racism thing. I'm up here in Canada, and I'm telling you, bro, like the Native Canadians have been treated like shit for a really long time, horribly, and you can see the effects on it, right? So I'm with you there all the way. And again, what I'm saying, I think we're kind of in line with each other. What we're saying is, like, one way out of, systemic problems and trying to make the world better for everybody is to try to attempt to view ourselves as individuals. At least that's how I operate, right? Like,
let's move on to like Mike Allen wanted to say something. But
yeah, appreciate it. I just wanted to bring it back here. So this whole white and black thing. Now, Wu, I want to ask you a question, and Chris, feel free to chime in here. You guys know who Crispus Attucks is, right? You guys have heard of the name Crispus Attucks? Wu, no. You guys, neither of you know who Crispus Attucks is?
Christopher Attucks.
What the fuck is this conversation about?
I've heard of that man who didn't thought was black. I know you talk Crispus Attucks.
So they always mention Crispus Attucks as, they always say he's the first black guy killed before the Revolution, right? The Boston Massacre, right? The Crispus Attucks. Now, this kind of hurts the conversation. I can't believe you guys don't even know who I'm talking about. But the point is that everyone calls him, he was the first black guy killed. Now, what I would say to that is, if you go look at the Boston Massacre Memorial, there's 5 people that were killed in the Boston Massacre. 5 people. No one knows the names of the other 4. The other 4 guys happen to be white guys. Everyone knows the name of Crispus Attucks. And the Boston Massacre Memorial, Crispus Attucks' name is the largest name, right? It's the biggest name. It's the largest written in the stone. And then there's 4 other people underneath him with the smallest name. People regulate Crispus Attucks to just some black guy who died. No, Crispus Attucks was an American. Crispus Attucks this whole black and white thing is uniquely American, but calling me white and calling, I'll use you for example, Chris, calling Chris black and calling me white are both insults, but it's uniquely American. It takes people's identity away from them. However, in the American way it happened, it kind of had to be done, right? And as a white Italian, I'll land here. If an Italian immigrant and an Irish immigrant came here, and then they had a kid here, that kid's not Italian. The kid's not
American. He's still Italian, bro. Don't try to use the bullshit. He's still a.
No, he's not. But he's not, though. No. See, and this is also what I was going to say to Wu and to Chris. If me and Wu go to any country in Europe, Wu's not a fucking black guy, and I'm not a white guy. We're both American. The same as if we go to any country in Africa. If me and Wu go to any country in Africa, we'd be called Americans. And so what I want to say to this is that...
put it in places. That's 100% true.
That's not the same as saying that your identity.
It's not the same thing, but you do
that
take on a different identity for sure.
Yeah, but that's
Like,
not
I'm
the
getting
same as
the-
saying that
Yeah,
you
but
do the
that's not what he said.
No, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get a different experience, but whatever experience that you get is probably going to be shared with other people who look like you, and they're not going to be the same for white people as they are going to be for black people. That's just
So you
not,
can
and that's because black people earn that
disagrees with anyone else. What's the fuck is going on?
Black people earn that reputation consistently with a staunch effort. So you're absolutely right.
What's going on? Is Mark here?
Yeah, what's up?
And what the fuck is this convo about?
This is that white guilt bullshit that composes too much media in America.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to feel bad about.
You're just getting stream of consciousness after stream of consciousness about.
I think the reason why people feel bad is because they don't understand what role they play, or if they play a role, and they haven't necessarily done anything. There's nothing wrong with talking about their past lived emotional harm or like historical experience. There's nothing wrong with that, unless somebody is not sure of what role that they have played in it. Then there's a problem. You know, it's like I use the example of like, people have a lot of things to say about men. I'm a man. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me because I've interrogated the assumptions around why I show up in the world the way that I do. So I don't feel uncomfortable about it. I can actually acknowledge that, yeah, men do have to work on some things. It doesn't make me a bad person.
What is going on here?
It's fine. I'm not sure. I mean, it's like, no, it's just certain things that you have to be aware of. Like all of us, like black people were, not all of us, but a lot of us were taught like when you get pulled over by the police, like, you know, certain ways to behave and stuff like that. Some of us feel,
White kids.
Yeah.
About. You cut him off just for you to be hurt. That's that white person. I have immense white privilege. What are you going to do?
Play the monkey sound effect.
It's not about what are you going to do about it. I think it's like, here's the thing. Right?
I meant to the other guy. Sorry.
I mean, the thing is like, okay, here's the problem.
You asked me what I give us the opportunity. Why people don't do this? What's going on?
Okay.
Of what? What is this conversation about?
Well, I think just give me a second. Yeah.
You need to say you know what this fucking conversation about. Just sit there and listen. No idea, bro. No idea. Is there a guy
like this idea,
the
Chris?
faintest clue.
This idea, Chris, you mentioned that you were taught differently about cops than what I guarantee you, my father taught me the exact same thing about cops your father did. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You can tell me exactly what your father told you about how to interact with police officers, and I'll guarantee it's the exact same way my father told me. I promise.
I mean, we can just turn on the news now. We kind of can see the atmosphere, right, of like how this country has like neglected certain experiences that are now being, expanded to affect the larger population of people. And it's because when it comes to certain groups of people, not enough people get outraged and don't care to make certain changes, right? For instance, right now, a lot of people are walking around with their passports and their documentation and their birth certificates, right, to make sure that they can prove that they're Americans. Now, who was the first person who had to produce their birth certificate under this new administration?
What?
Yeah, you're gonna lie and say black.
No, listen. The first person that had to do that was President Barack Obama, who had to produce his long form.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton started the birth. Hillary Clinton started the birth. That was Hillary Clinton who started that.
Okay.
You don't remember Hillary Clinton talking about the birther thing?
This is the first time I've ever heard anyone say that, like, Hillary Clinton was responsible for the birthing movement. I remember. I'm not that sure. I remember seeing Donald Trump talking about the fact that he's not born, in this country, and he's used a lot of like other.
I think you need to revise that. Actually, Barack Obama himself was responsible for the birther movement, given that he advertised himself for many years in Harvard publications as a Nigerian-born individual. So
I'm fucking lying, bro. That's Juneteenth.
Let me make sure I can read this. Okay, yeah, Jen said, haven't seen you in a while, brother. You're one of the few that give kind of the pushback, against some of this. Against some of the Trump derangement syndrome. So, what would you say that Trump is doing really good, John? Because Bob's ready to switch gears.
I'm a big fan of the war against Iran, possibly. I think that he really flubbed it when he didn't go in earlier when he called the protester that he would. I'm excited. I've been happy about the way that he's been doing it. It would kind of squelch these protests out a little bit better. There's a number of things I've been very, very pleased with. I think they're moving at a fast clip, which I didn't expect them to be able to do. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of my critiques are. Yeah, I think a lot of the people are critiquing Trump are, obsessed with like the Epstein files and stuff, and that's just really not.
I mean, nigga, you just
Can we just do a quick fact check, though? Can we just do a quick fact? Can we just do a quick fact check? Because people are listening to people here saying dumb stuff.
Right.
Number one is that Hillary Clinton, like at best, what you could say is some of the staffers in her campaign in Iowa made her joking about it.
Clinton did in fact start it as a matter of all of within the campaign.
You gotta let
That's not true. That's not true.
He said some other dumb shit. He said that Barack Obama said he was observant.
Yeah, yes. First of all, that's doubly dumb. That was twice as dumb because probably he was referring to Kenya, right? Not Nigeria.
Kenya.
So that's like an early warning sign of dumbness, right? And the other thing is that.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're wrong. Okay, and so
Obama expounded on that in his book.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Dreams of my fathers. He did fucking expound on it. I read it.
No, yeah, this whole thing started. Teapot, Chris.
I'm not listening.
He said Obama was the first one.
No. Publication for years that my was Kenyan born.
Wait a second. Every year.
Wait a second. This is chapters in his book.
A fact check means actually a facts. So if you're gonna refute, no. Yes, I just pointed out the facts.
I just looked it up because it sounded dumb and you sounded dumb, and guess what? You are dumb. It's not true.
Refute like fact. You can't just simply say it's not true.
You were the one who made the claim.
Deepak, the best way to solve this stuff is to block. You block people like this.
The easiest.
Seriously. You block them and kick them down.
That's why you just call out his dumbness and move on, right? You don't actually engage with him on the issue.
Triggered. It's not being triggered. It's not being triggered. It's not people losing.
Whether it gets nailed down to the fact that it was Trump or the
Hold on, Chris. Look, Deepak, I've been on this app for 5 years. I could have sworn I almost lost brain cells listening to people like that talk. Like, the best thing to do is to just block them and kick them and keep it moving. Because if people don't want to have a conversation, they want to troll.
You think
it's ridiculous. Don't say it.
moderators get to
Who do you
decide
think's trolling?
Show him Seth. Yeah.
He's not trolling. He may be wrong, but he's not trolling.
Of course he is trolling. What do you mean?
You guys think
There is an awful lot of literature that was released by publishers and the Harvard Law Review early on when he was the editor in chief, wherein as part of his credentials, and he was touted as the first Kenyan-born Harvard Law Review.
Prove it.
Link to it. Don't just say words. Link to it. Okay, I'm working on it.
This is the thing, like, with this argument, all right? Like, Trump is not someone who, like, is changing America. He's someone who's revealing America because, like, what he was able to do was a distraction, not just because, like, because Trump said it, but because so many people, because what is going on? Like,
that's funny. Shut up, Chris.
Hold on, let me finish my thought. Let me finish my. No, because I wasn't. I was like literally in the. I didn't get you off.
But the thing you guys asked for,
moderator app, right? Like,
you can whatever you want. Chris literally said. Did Obama's literary agent say he was born in Kenya? In 1991,
fuckers.
Literary promotion identified Barack Obama as having been born. Do this. Look, Chris was saying something. Come back in, okay? In May 20.
John.
I'm sorry.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the person who was like reading that also supports, right, a lot of the same policies that are happening today. Well, not even policies, but some of the same actions today. Where they're like,
he was right.
pushing to.
Yeah, he wasn't letting the guy speak. What do you mean?
No. He wasn't right. What do you mean?
Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up.
He said that Obama touted himself as that, which isn't what the quote he read demonstrated.
I think it may have implied
it. Spit sounds. And he said he should have been dropped off by guards.
No. That was a different. I think that was a different mission. I mean, you can bring the guy up again. I just didn't want him to interrupt.
Guys, Barack Obama said himself in April 2011. He addressed it himself. He said, "No, there's going to be a segment of people for which, no matter what we put out, this issue will not be put to rest. But we do not have time for this kind of silliness.
What year was that?
What year was that? April 2011.
Why did you attribute the birther thing to Trump?
I mean, I was alive during that time. That's how I remember it. But see, even like, I don't know why it's like.
Yeah, but it started under.
So we're not allowed to. We have to run everything that we see through.
Sorry,
perspective for them to reinterpret it back to us. Like, I was alive. I remember him pushing.
Yeah,
Chris, you said
were you alive or?
Yo, shush. Are you there, Andrew?
I'm here, bro.
Okay. So the claim on the table was that Barack Obama himself was touted as he touted himself as that was
June was the second part. We all can agree that's wrong.
Chris said.
Yeah, okay. So just so we know, the thing that was read didn't substantiate the claim that was made. Okay.
And by the way, if you don't believe that Barack Obama himself would have been with full knowledge of all promotional material to promote his books,
Prove it.
You ever written a book?
Prove it. You can't. You can't.
Prove it.
Okay, but why are you going to the second part, which is so controversial? Just stick to the first part. The first birther comments came out of the Clinton campaign. There was never a direct link to Clinton, but they happened in 2008. And a Clinton staffer was fired for it.
Thank you. That's all I was trying to say. Chris said that Barack Obama was the first one to have to produce a birth certificate because of the Trump thing. And I said, no, the birther thing started way before Trump. And that's a fact. And none of y'all are like, well, Well, are none of you guys going to say that Chris is dumb? Of course you're not going to say Chris is dumb, but Chris is the one that started this whole thing. Trump had nothing to do with the birther thing. Now, he said some shit about it when he finally started running for president, but the birther shit happened way before Trump. And I don't understand. Like, Chris, you say these things that some of these policies are being erased right now. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking
Trump was the biggest amplifying voice of that, but he wasn't the
That's what I'm saying. The thing about it that, like, Mike, I think is weird to me is the fact that, like, okay, we all lived through this. It's like saying that, like, on 2000, on 9/11, that I need to go back and watch the video because, like, there was birds that flew into the tower. There wasn't a plane that flew into the tower. It's just like we all saw it.
Bro, you said
we all saw it.
You go.
Donald Trump became one of the most high-profile people and promoters of that birther conspiracy in 2011.
Bigger than Hillary?
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it was this was what helped him to get to get in the race. This is what he was using to, like.
Why the fuck would we care if Obama was Obama's term was over? Yeah, why would we even give? We didn't give a fuck about that. It was dumb. It was dumb.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, okay, so you're saying we voted for Trump because Obama wasn't from this country?
I'm not saying you collectively. I'm saying that it's part of it. It definitely boosted the fuck out of it.
Right, that's the thing. It's like, I think sometimes it's difficult for some people who are on the other side to see this as a larger system and just want to play bop-a-mole with, like, all these things and saying that they're totally unrelated instead of whack-a-mole.
I see the large bubble, just not that large. Hold on, you try it ain't possible. You're very good.
Trump didn't run against Obama. He ran against Clinton, Hillary Clinton.
The same thing happened with Kamala, right? Where they were like, is she black or is she Indian?
Yeah, do you know what?
Is she black or is she Indian? I don't know whether she's black or whether she's Indian. I don't care either way.
Trump goes, I don't care what she is.
Chris, your mic is so loud, man. The fact that Joseph said that Barack Obama is Nigerian just shows his racist, ignorant ideology. Yo, he first said Nigerian. That was the most stupidest shit he could ever. What the fuck?
Cool. And Chris, you just tried to do it again with the Kamala thing. Do you remember what Trump actually said? Trump goes, I don't care what she is. She's the one that keeps saying she's this and she's that and she's this and she's that. I don't give a shit. You guys keep asking me, and he's just going by the shit she's saying. So he's like, I don't care what she is. He literally said that. He's like, I don't care what she is. She's the one who's saying all this stuff. So you guys, like, you keep doing this stuff. And again, everyone's getting away from the fact that Chris is trying to attribute this whole racist white supremacy nonsense bullshit, which, by the way, the only people who think white people are superior are people that think like you, Chris. We don't think we're fucking superior.
No, honestly, Mike, I don't want you to get upset, man. I'm just having a conversation. Trust me, Mike, trust me. Look, Mike.
Let me finish.
Mike, trust me.
Mr. Mike.
What we're trying to say here is that none of this has anything to do with the fact that white people think they're superior. None of it. No laws are being passed to try to oppress black people. There's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that I can do in America that you can't go do, Chris. Zero. You couldn't name a single thing.
I mean, beyond wearing a tan.
It's not like a crybaby, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just attack me like that and then just go to Monica. First of all, right?
He didn't attack you.
White people are superior.
He didn't attack you.
Monica, please.
Let's respond.
Thank you. So trust me, Mike. If white people were really superior, if you really believe that white people were superior, then we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in right now. So clearly, it's not true. Right, that's the issue that I think a lot of people are recognizing. Is like, why are we upholding this falsehood so much? Because that falsehood is what is affecting other people.
What situation?
Inability to recognize like the implications of it. So, like, for instance, right, talking anything when it came to Kamala, right? He said, I don't care if she's black, I don't care if she's Indian, right? There is historically, and even in racial context, been this term that has been used for a long time, purposely and deliberately obscure and try to disguise and distort and reverse the meaning of words. They're not just lying, they're trying to use words in a way that makes something sound better or softer or see how it's going to land. And Trump does that all the time. He's always like, we'll see, I'll release the files, or maybe I won't, or maybe I will. He's testing the water. He's using doublespeak to try and like see what it's going to catch. That within itself is a tactic. So to think that it's like,
I want to know what situation we're in that if white people were smart, we wouldn't be in.
The same way you attach that gross presumption of what I think you're misconstruing blatant masculinity to be. Obama did the same thing by orating extremely fucking slow. Oh, okay.
What situation can we
I'll propose it. So don't do that. There's psychological nuances in both of them.
Can I get
the shot?
Can I go on answer?
So it's important. Yeah, good to know. Yeah, it's important. I mean, the thing about that is Mike. I heard. I don't believe that there are people that feel like white people are superior. When there's a difference between white supremacy and people thinking that white people are superior. I don't think anyone in the 21st century looks at the white race as a superior race to anybody. And the fact that you felt that when you're a white person in America and you feel when they're speaking about white people and you feel that they're talking about you because your race is white, you're part of the problem. You're adhering to the stupidity. No one's talking about you. No one's talking about your ethnic group. No one's talking about your race. No one's talking about your family. But for some reason, you feel victimized, Mike. That's what confuses me when people cry and talk like that.
Oh my God, the black fragility is so fucking prevalent. Go ahead, Monica.
So I was talking about this today. There's a word, a slur, that people can call white people in our country today that has long-lasting ramifications. It's as powerful, and I would say maybe more powerful than the black slur used against Black Americans.
What is this word? Slur is that, Monica?
Shiloh Hendricks was called it, and she got death threats because she was called it. The Covington High School kid, Nick Sandman, 2019 on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
Sorry, are we ever not trolling?
Yeah, what word are we talking about here?
Racist.
Oh, wait. You're saying that calling someone, that the term racist is a slur?
Don't take the bait. Don't take the
bait.
Oh, but it's just so juicy. How can I?
I know. We are living in the upside down.
Don't. Not even that's taking the bait. Ignore you answered my question, Chris. Yes, no, I refuse.
It's not bait.
What was your question?
True.
I'm sorry. I got thrown off by that.
What is the situation that we're in that if white people were smarter, we wouldn't be in?
I think we wouldn't be finding a problem with diversity. Like, you recognize that when people are different, that's something to appreciate, not something to feel threatened by. I don't think that, we would be seeing strength as like who you can bring to your knees, who you can like.
Can you prove that it's a strength?
Who you can. Do you think that's? Let me just ask you. Do you think that strength is based on? Let me just ask you because we're having a conversation, right? So, do you think that strength is measured by who you can bring to their knees or who you can lift up?
I think that question is a dumb question.
Why is it dumb?
Well, first of all, it's a false dichotomy.
Okay, what's false about it?
It's a dichotomy.
All right. Can you unpack that? What's the problem with it?
It's a syllogism. It makes no sense. What if strength is other things other than
getting into semantics and stuff? Like, what do you personally think?
It's literally just poor argument. It doesn't make any sense.
He's saying you're saying strength is either the ability to lift people up or the ability to crush or something, like whatever the phrasing you use. He's saying that's not the right way to frame the question of what strength is. Presumably he has some.
I'm not being coy. It's just that that's a false dichotomy. Like it's it's an important that strength. There's multiple kinds of strength, but one kind of strength could be breaking people down, like in the military context, or one kind of strength could be building people up. There's a different both of those exhibit strength. There's also strength that is just like a person being prudent in a moment where they're maybe take leadership. There's all sorts of ways strength can be exhibited, but I don't think the phrase diversity is our strength, which is what you were edging on, which is, by the way, another type of strength people believe in, which you left out of that question conveniently. I don't think that that's a strength at all. I don't think that you could prove that diversity is a strength.
Okay, so
really, then why is America the most diverse and strongest country?
I don't think that just because the strongest country is also the most diverse, that it is necessarily the diversity that is contributing to the strength.
Okay, so then, right. I think that, that white supremacy often collapses under its own logic. It doesn't, real strength doesn't require suppression to survive. And I think that there's this effort to suppress on a lot of different fronts, whether it's voices, votes, populations, inclusion, all those things. And I think that, like, if a group of people was like actually supreme, then they wouldn't need laws or violence or propaganda or exclusion to maintain their position. They're actually pay attention to this exclusion.
Can he finish, please? Can Chris finish?
Because if you're going to list a bunch of things,
you do have to let people finish, right? Because you can't in the same argument. No, you can't talk about in the same argument.
We lose our points.
Monica. If someone wants
he's not gish galloping at. It is true that he's not addressing the question. Like, it does seem like you sidestepped the question of diversity, though, Chris. So I will point that out. But it's not a gish gallop. I mean, it sort of is kind of changing topic a bit.
That's just Chris. Let's just go with voices. You said voices, votes, and other stuff. Let's just do voices. How are voices being suppressed?
Okay, so the 700 ballots that were removed from Fulton County.
Okay. What about
the fact that we have a process, there's some process, like due process for people, like when they're criminals, that it's just kind of being sidestepped, right? When it comes to illegal immigration.
How are they being getting an opportunity to make a case? Let me finish the list, and then I want to walk them through this. So, what else, Chris? How else is it being suppressed?
Those are a couple examples.
Okay, let's go with the due process for criminals. Number one, due process for not for criminals, but for illegal aliens. What do you believe due process means?
It means that they have to, they get the opportunity to make their case, like present their documents and things like that in court.
That is not what due process means, my friend.
Okay, what does it mean?
The process that you are due. It means that there is in the law a list of things that you as an individual, given circumstances, are required to get. And illegal immigrants have very little in the way of due process. And that's illegal. That is the process they are due. They are almost all receiving their full due process. And in fact, all of them are receiving their full due process.
That is not true, and I bet you nobody in the room can actually name the due process rights. But I can if you want to hear what they are. That is not true.
Hold on, William. Don't interject. Let him go. Let him land.
Expedited removal is totally legal.
It's without due process.
No, it's not. That is the process. That is the process, William.
Yeah, you're begging the question, William. The question is not whether they have due process. They do. The question is, what is that process? And that's what we're debating right now.
Yeah, no, of course. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Mike, the thing hold on, William, just let me go. I haven't spoke yet. The one thing everybody seems to forget is everybody thinks due process is you get to walk in and face your accusers, correct? That's not what it is.
They have due process. The due process system starts when they reach to find you. Your last address, you're not there. You keep avoiding them. Guess what? The due process starts without you. People have been convicted of murder without ever being at a trial. That's a fact. You can look it up. The due process begins when they start to try to contact you. If these people are avoiding the deportation process, their due process begins without them. That is their choice.
How do they get it?
They have a choice to be active in the system. And it is a fact, and I beg you, before you say it's not, to please look it up. Then, William, you need to go look up the facts because that's coming from a federal judge. His word.
Let's just let me just read it. Let me just read it. Hold on. Let me just read it.
Everyone in the room even knows the difference between substantive.
Wait, let me just read it.
Process and procedural due process.
Let me just read it. Let me just read it. Let me just read it.
Oh, let William go. You can read it in the audience if you want. Let William go.
Okay. Due process rights breaks down into two categories, substantive and procedural. What we're talking about is procedural due process rights. You have the right to have a lawyer present your defense. You do not have the right to a free attorney appointed to you. This is exactly why the 1996 IRA set it up so that it's civil and not criminal, because the cost of those lawyers would have been enormous. You have the right to provide evidence and witnesses. You have the right to hear evidence against you. You have the right to examine and defend the opposing evidence. You have the right to a hearing and a trial.
For a criminal case.
Can you let me finish, please? It's not for a criminal case.
No, you're talking about criminal cases.
I'm talking about procedural due process.
You don't have that in a civil case.
So you want to interrupt me instead of me getting through all the fucking things?
You're missing the argument.
I'm not missing the argument.
You are? Let him finish. I've already moved backwards and down to the audience.
Should I go right back to the beginning, and then you can argue over whether the due process rights are applicable in criminal or civil? I'm not missing the argument. I'm defining what the rights are. You couldn't define the rights, Norm. I didn't hear you step up, Norm, and say the rights. Nobody in the fucking room can say. So one person who does know what the fuck
He's gone. I'm going to move you down now. Get back on topic. You're gone.
I'm sorry. I will go back. I'm sorry. Just Norm tends to irritate me and probably a lot of you. I'll go back to you have the right to hear evidence against you. You have the right to examine evidence, the opposing evidence, or you have the right to present your evidence as well as examine the opposing evidence. You have the right to an impartial decision maker, which is civil. A judge would be criminal, and you have the right to have that decision based solely on the charges and the evidence presented against you, and you have the right to an appeal. Those are your due process rights. There are some differences when it's civil versus criminal, but those are your due process rights. If you have had your trial, as the person Ice, I believe his name was, and you were not present, they issue a warrant, a final order of removal. There's two different types of warrants. There's a 200, which indicates you do not have due process rights anymore because they have already been given to you. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. A 205 means you've already gone through your due process rights. A 200 warrants means you still have due process rights. If you are not present, they order an issue, a final removal order in absentee, which means you were not there. So while Ice was correct in part, what he was saying was not actually correct. Now, I have done the research on this. I can tell you for a fact, I have 3 friends who are immigration lawyers. But you can come at me any way you want.
So real quick follow-up. If a person is illegal and they have their claim of asylum, and their asylum claim is denied, have they had their due process?
Well, let's start with the fact that if they cross the border illegally, they're not entitled to asylum. They're not eligible. If they do not file for asylum in the country next to their country, they do not qualify for asylum.
So then, yes.
So if they haven't, so to answer your question, if they have applied for asylum, have not filed an appeal immediately afterwards, when they get denied, they have had their due process rights. If at the time of them being told that their appeal was denied, the lawyer pulls out and I don't remember the exact form off the top of my head right now, but I could probably go and find it. That appeal would then reenact you to get further due process rights. There's two places you can appeal. One is the BIA, the Board of Appeals. The other is the Immigration Court.
Keep it simple. Like, I don't think we need this much detail. Like, he just asked one question. Okay. Because they're follow up.
Well, I would say so. Yeah. So they because asylum cases are getting denied at like an 85% clip right now, right? Like 85% of all the asylum cases are getting denied. So those people, after the asylum cases get denied, they have the deportation order. They're picked up. They're deported. They've had their due process, right? We're not arguing about those people.
Correct.
That's good. Okay. So which people are we talking about that aren't getting due process?
Typically, people are talking about the ones that are getting expedited removal. When I get into this argument with people, it's usually people do not understand expedited removal.
That is their due process. What do you mean?
It's like y'all not connecting the fact that there are other groups of people like Venezuelans and people from Honduras who are losing their protections right now, right? Like their temporary status, their temporary protected status is being rescinded during the exact same time that people are trying to do this come on, like, just I feel
they don't.
It makes me sad that you don't even try to see any connection between why both of these things are occurring at the same time.
And so they interrupt others like unwarrantedly. Protected status. That is a gift. And it's now gone.
It's literally called, it's kind of a fraudulent contractual basis, because if you're being told that if you follow these steps, you will get citizenship, and then the government kind of reneges it. But I think it's worse than that, right?
Never told that.
No, I think it's worse than that, because if we understand that they're violating the very act of any executive branch body stopping a person within the United States and asking for paperwork is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Full stop.
They don't have Fourth Amendment rights. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. No, the constitutional. So hold on. Certain protections and clauses. So not all rights are granted to persons in the United States, just one mentioned. And yes, the Bill of Rights apply. Just real quick, would you have it any other way? Hold on, pause. Hold on, pause, please. I'm asking a question. And with that being said, because we can just fact check that right now, and I'd love to do that. But with that being said, would you have it any other way, considering slavery was once law? And I hope you're not just going to say precedence as your moral claim. Are you suggesting that people who are not citizens don't deserve protection under law?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, then you're an authoritarian. That's fine.
With nuance. The answer is that they don't. The answer is that they do not have Fourth Amendment right protections. What are you talking about?
Can you articulate why they are not entitled as a human to the same protections as any other human?
Because the American Constitution is written for Americans who subject themselves to the jurisdiction of America.
Black people weren't considered free when it was written. Should we keep that too? I asked you, a grown man who thinks for himself, what your justification is for what
I don't think you
said.
think for yourself, though. That's the problem.
I don't think for myself, but I'm the one arguing you. What?
Do you believe that illegal immigrants? Yeah. You don't think for yourself. You're repeating tropes. But do you believe that illegal immigrants are slaves?
To Trump. No.
Do you believe illegal immigrants?
No, because otherwise you're just doing piss at insults. Is this where I throw one back at you? No. You made the claim. Name the trope. Name the trope or retract the statement. Name the trope or retract the statement.
I don't think you know what a trope is.
Do you know what a trope is?
I do, yeah.
A trope is an atypical, kind of almost cliche kind of argument or position. And so what was my cliche position? I'm waiting.
All humans deserve laws.
Yes, you think humanitarianism is cliche? What is the definition of civilization?
It's just dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb. It is dumb. Do you believe that the card is? You don't even know what you're talking about.
I descend from people who literally lose their job as professionals.
What's your concept of liberty? That you think it's this special class? You fucking goofball.
The Magna Carta only applies to Englishmen. What are you talking about?
This is pseudo shit.
The Magna Carta only applied to Englishmen.
That's not what. It's not about the. Obviously, it was literally lords. Hold on, no. When anyone brings up the Magna Carta, they're not bringing up the literal inception because it was obviously still very based in the elites. But it was the birthplace of these ideas.
Okay, truth.
What do you think America stands for? It's for liberty.
Liberty for the people that come here and subject themselves to the jurisdiction of the United States. Yeah. What do you believe that illegal immigrants are slaves?
No.
Okay. Well, then what is a slave? The fight of those who were enslaved have anything to do with the fight of people who came here not subjecting themselves to the jurisdiction of the United States when they entered?
Because that's how laws in our country have been able to veil and hide harm. And I think the same argument that's happening where it's saying like, because of what's legal. Well, because it's legal, right? Okay, slavery was legal at one point in time too, and so
no one made the argument.
But the argument,
no one made that argument.
There has been
you literally just did.
Yeah, somebody literally just went through like the statutes on the books and talked about like why it's not wrong because of the fact that it's
not subjected themselves to the jurisdiction of the United States. That is the law of the land. It's always been a law.
Right, but this is not about like who technically qualifies for asylum or refugee protection.
It is literally.
This is just no, it's not. It's about like just reducing or removing legal protections or status for people.
Removing legal
that previously had rights in this country, and it's during a very convenient time. Right, so just because you make certain changes in the legal system does not give you the moral high ground, which is the reason why this conversation came up in the first place when somebody was saying, why do you think that white people are superior? And I said if they were superior, then they wouldn't do things that are like problematic.
Oh shit.
He didn't do that. What he said was if white people were superior, we wouldn't be in this situation. That was
he said white people were superior. So
this situation,
I looked at just for anyone who cares more about just because it's he said, right? So here's what the Constitution actually says. So originally when I said, hey, it's a violation of due process for any executive branch to question someone for their paperwork without a judicial warrant, not an administrative, which is within the executive branch, but with an actual judicial warrant. And here's why that matters. That's part of what made America great. Like, this is insane. That's why you saying, well, that should just be for citizens is actually gross. And I'm so glad the founding fathers.
Let's read the Fourth Amendment because you don't seem to know what it says.
Okay, but you do understand the same as they can pull you over in your car and demand your ID. There is a case law that sits on top.
Let's read the Fourth Amendment, okay?
Hold on, guys. Before we read all that, we can just cut to the chase. It says what Truth is saying, but it also is going to say what he was just about to read, that there are exceptions to that. If you continue reading, ICE can walk up to anybody and ask.
Wait a second. It doesn't say what he was saying. It says the people. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people. And the people, as defined by the Supreme Court numerous times and others, are Americans who subject themselves to the jurisdiction of the American.
I can't do anything now, but like truth is basically right. At the very least, the jurisdiction, what's it called? The case law on this is super unclear. At the very least, right? And I think the best you can say is the Supreme Court upholds some elements of due process, right? Substantive due process, and not others. But like someone else can look it up and post it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Supreme Court Pyler versus Doe, 1982. The Supreme Court affirmed the constitutional protections apply to undocumented people in the President of the United States. Again, but that's just the Supreme Court. This guy on Clubhouse, he's so sure of himself. But again, just to reiterate, right? Because my main point was this, and this is why I mentioned slavery. This is important. We as individuals have to think for ourselves. It's ironic, right? Because see how it went full circle? We as individuals have to think for ourselves, and arguing its law is not the moral argument. That's why I'm glad we all, like I said in the beginning, I'm glad we agree with you. I'm glad the rest of us recognize that everyone should be treated equally under the law, regardless of their citizenship status.
That's exactly what I said. Like, this
Fourth Amendment is a right given to the people. The people by the Supreme Court has been ruled to be the people of the United States subject to its jurisdiction. You guys have no idea what you're talking about.
See, I figured you're not even foundationally black.
conversation. I knew something was going to be framed to the detriment of the white, straight, conservative male. That has consistently been, for the past, I want to say, easily decade, the most battered down, beat dead horse in the goddamn world. You fucking faggots couldn't have built a fraction of what this country was.
Yay. I'll say this, that most of the country has been built on the backs of European immigrants. It's a fact. You can look it up. Yes, there was a big part of it that that blacks have been a part of. But if you're going to take 14% of the population now and claim it built the whole damn country, that argument is out the window. It's stupid. It's not even negotiable. Not even talk about it. It's a done argument. But hold on. There's a case in 1943 and a case in 2001. UC versus America, and I can't remember the other one, 2001. But they upheld that illegal immigrants are granted certain constitutional rights, and the fourth is included in that. But there is times that it gets circumvented, and ICE can walk up and ask for anybody's paperwork. And if they have suspicion, they can ask for anybody's paperwork, and all they need is suspicion. If they watch somebody they are going to arrest run into a home, they can enter the home. What they did in Minneapolis, they called and they got a warrant, but they said, you can do one of two things. We can kick the door down and come in, or you can send them out. And they stayed out. And then what they said, they called the court and said, listen, we know he's in there. He ran in there. It happened with an Uber driver, what do they call it? The Uber Eats driver or whatever it was. And the court said, okay, yeah, you get the warrant. Then they go and they don't just kick down the doors like everybody was saying. So we got to understand that, yes, there are due process rights. There are protections. But you need to understand the things that have changed over time. A lot has changed. Hell, it was Bill Clinton that first put in the elimination of due process within 100 miles of the border. Nope, they don't get any. Ship them back.
Okay.
Yep.
But here's the connection point that I wish.
Hold on, I'm gonna get that. Hold on.
That was Bush that started the wrong. It was Bush that started the 100-mile rule within 2 weeks.
Okay, we're gonna see if you're right.
I posted the link in the chat from the U.S. government, and the State Department can revoke a visa at will for reasons including but not limited to criminal arrest without conviction or security threat. And there are many more reasons. Feel free to read them on the U.S. Embassy website.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone can
exercise. I'm reading from the U.S. Embassy website. This power can be exercised even if the visa holder is already in the United States, often based on new derogatory information, safety concerns, or suspected ineligibility. The visa can be revoked.
Yeah,
please read it.
Yeah.
Feel free to.
There was a time too when black people, like, if they were not south of the Mason-Dixon line, they could be put back into slavery. So
that's a horrible thing. That's Plessy v. Ferguson. But we're not living then. We're living now. This is February 23rd, 2026, and I've just read you the law.
But that was the law back then too. So it's like, what's the difference?
I don't have a time machine.
I didn't have to hear the combo to know what it was about. Social Justice Warrior Hour.
If you don't like the law, you can petition your representative to change it, but you can't argue that it's not the law.
I don't think anyone was calling that into question. I mean, that makes sense for security purposes. We retain that right. But what my claim was that it's just kind of when you look at the fact that I think 75% of the people who are detained have no criminal convictions, and another 25% have a pending charge. So you could call, even if you say all those pending charges become guilty, about 1 out of 2 people have no criminal charge or record.
True. Did you happen to hear Tom Homan's actual stats? He gets the data every day, and he just got into it with Bill Maher about this because Bill Maher said exactly what you said. And Tom Homan, which has been in this job since, I believe, was it Clinton or was it even before that?
I think it was since
He's been in the job. Yeah, right. He's been in forever. It might have been since Reagan. He's been through all of these presidents, and he looks at the data every day. And the latest data shows that 70% of them have criminal histories. 20% have national security risks. Now, I'm just telling you what this man who reads the data every day This man reads it, and hold on. This man reads the data every morning, and this man was held over through Republicans, through Democrats. This is his fucking words. Listen to him. I just gave you.
I'm not going to believe a person over data, so if we can get a source.
Okay, the source is the Department of Homeland Security's data for arrest from ICE.
Yeah, let's look at it.
His name is Tom Homan, and I don't know if you know who he is, but he is the
I don't really care.
Man, I know you don't care, and this is the process truth.
Why would I care? Listen.
Because what matters is he's the foremost authority on it. Do you know who talks to? Do you know that?
Hey man,
hold on. You know what's so funny?
Do you know who Tom Homan is?
I was actually about to say the last thing I remember about him was the whole FBI thing. So it's his name doesn't rate. He doesn't have good publicity. Let me put it like that. So I didn't immediately think good things. But
he was given a medal by Obama for his work at ICE.
Oh, I don't love Obama. I'm not a sycophant. I love when people do the what about.
No. What he's saying is he's not a Trumper. That's
some people say what about him. It's neither a fallacy nor.
He's a Trumper. He can be corrupt. They're all fucking corrupt, bro. I don't play the game. Anyway,
okay, so let's talk about corruption. So corruption is let's uphold the laws. Upholding the laws that are federal laws, that's corruption. No, corruption is if it's all wrong, not changing it, because we all vote for the same fucking fools for 50 years that have never changed a thing. Let's be real. How did Nancy Pelosi stay in office? What did she do? What did Maxine Waters do? What did Mitch McConnell do? What did these guys that have been for 40, 50 years do? And we all can say this. We had a Border Patrol agent go on, I think, 60 Minutes and literally say, I am no longer able to do my job because I am required by the federal law to make one phone call when a child comes in and gives me a phone number. I'm to call them. I'm not to ask any more questions, and we send them there, and everybody in this office knows what's happening. They're trafficking them. And you know what? What percentage of America do you think as a people would say that law needs to be changed tomorrow and we could write it real quick? There is no sending it to there. It has to be verified.
So I just debunked your buddy Tom Homan.
Would it be 100%? Would it be 100% of Americans who agree you don't send a child to a place you know is a child trafficking place? I would think so. So why aren't the politicians changing it?
Yeah, because they're all corrupted in bed. But so to the Tom Homan thing, right?
But Tom Homan is running the book by the books of the law for removing people. That's what he's doing. He went up to Minneapolis because whatever reason, we have a governor and a mayor who said
Can you give me a source, though? Because I got you a source.
Okay, so Tom Homan, you need to look him up because he's
he's not a source. He's a person.
He relayed the information from the Department of Homeland Security, so look it up under the DHS. DHS, look it up.
No, you made the claim, brother.
No, you want to fucking deny it. Prove me wrong.
No.
This is where I laugh.
Buddy.
Okay? Because listen. This is already where we're going through.
Bias is from a community parent company, you slick son of a bitch.
Yeah, because as soon as somebody posts something, they're going to be like, I don't like that source. How do we know it's really
a valid source? It's a valid source. I don't really care who to what. It still has to be a credible source. But so, yeah, I have no horse in the race. I'm a fact finder. Okay, I made a claim. I provided a source for my claim. That's a credible source. If you want to call my source into question, I'll take it. And if it sounds credible, I'll find an alternative source. We can.
But is your source credibly analyzing the data? Because the difference between the 70% and the 30% you're talking about, if you look into it, it's the people who've been convicted versus charged. So there is a discrepancy between the 70% and the other. And since you hate comparing to other presidents, I won't even bring up where Obama's numbers were. And I'll let anyone guess who had less criminals deported than Trump. Take a guess. The numbers and the data you present, you have to dig deeper to see what is the data and where are they getting it from. Like if you believe AIC and $100 billion is paid in taxes and you don't know where they come up with that number, then you're just going to believe it and, it's a credible source. Where is the data from? It's 70% if you include the charges, not convictions. And it's 30-something% if it's...
You can be deported for being arrested and having charges against you. That's why that's a valid statistic.
But okay, can someone just get a source for their claims though? Like
Department of Homeland Security. I put the link in the
okay,
chat.
can you tell me what do I control?
I can't share the source, but the Cato Institute, right, the famously libertarian think tank, had a report saying that I think 8% of those deported were, or at least brought to detention, were criminal offense, like either violent or property crimes. Right, which is I think the most relevant. That's I think the most
number of criminals. Same thing happens in policing, right? Where it's more so just about meeting numbers so that they can get.
Thank God for non-answer nodal native. Actually, I think most countries.
It's not what we can do, right? It's about what we should. It's about what we prioritize and trade-offs involved, right? Like, look, we can have a conversation about what is saying, you can't deport people who break your laws or here barely, or the only quote unquote crime is that they're here illegally. The question is, like, what are the trade-offs? There are real trade-offs here, okay?
I agree with you, but when you look deeply into the numbers, and I have, the amount of criminals is high.
What is that? I don't care about it. Trust me, bro. It's what is that? It's just get evidence.
The amount of people who have additional crimes that are being deported, if you take the people who have been charged and the people who have been convicted, it's around 70%. Whereas Obama's numbers, if you look at all 8 years, and there was a shift. His last year it was 92% or something like that. In previous years, it was much less than that. The average comes out, I want to say the average is about 60-something% over Obama.
Yeah, no. So look, realistically, Obama was horrible. The left hated ICE under Obama. I mean, I'm not putting this all on Trump. I mean, fuck. The Bush was horrible. Bill Clinton really is the one who turned the heat up. But honestly, there's literally, I don't know if you guys know this, there was literally a plan called Operation Wetback. So this is not, I think that was in the 80s. So this is not the first, it is what it is. Look, but playing whataboutism is not how you make any kind of effective use of observation, right? Right now, Trump is in charge of the Republican Party. Right now, the Republican Party has majority control. These are his platforms, his policies, etc. This is his show, okay? And so, no, I don't care about Obama right now. I can't stand when people do that. So,
the history, when you're sitting here making accusations, how many Republicans don't even understand that Reagan gave amnesty, or know that Cesar Chavez was anti-illegal immigrant and used the word you just used that most people would call a slur, so I'm not going to say it. Cesar Chavez called illegal immigrants that slur repeatedly in public. Democrats used to be anti-illegal immigrant, and Republicans were
really called Operation.
Right. So if you don't understand the history, by what measure or lens are you looking at what's happening today? History mattered.
You know what's so funny? I can't even put the link in the chat because of the way. Google it, it'll come up. Just Google Operation Wetback because I don't know why I thought the 80s.
Why is it okay to allow millions of undocumented immigrants into the country? It's not okay.
No, that's a fair question. No
country. Of course it is. No country allows that. No country should allow it. One of the biggest problems is the threat to our national security. Well, okay, that's my opinion. No country should do that. No country does do that. And therefore,
no countries like America, though. Come on, Norm. Come on.
That's irrelevant. No country does.
You got this space.
No, we do not have. We have neither the money, nor the space, nor the willingness, nor the country. Excuse me. You can ask the questions at the end. This president was elected by the majority of American voters in order to do. Excuse me. That's right. That's the majority. That 77 million people said they don't want undocumented immigrants in this country, and now he's doing what the people elected him to do. You can't. That's right. Exactly right. On that? For the American people, elections have consequences. To quote Barack Obama.
Hey, I'm not mad at the process. It's your country too. I get it.
That's right.
No, look,
that's right. The American people have said democratically that they don't want illegal immigrants in the country, so the president's deporting them, and as is his mandate.
And when we get back in power, we'll swing the pendulum the other direction, and all we go forever.
Truth, let me help you out here. Norm, do you understand what happens in 2030, 2035, or 2040, depending on whose numbers you believe, when we need mounds of illegal immigrants or immigrants here in order to sustain Social Security and Medicare? What are we going to do without millions of people coming into the system? When the whole system
You slipped up because you confused legal with illegal. Then you corrected yourself. You made my point.
No, I was very cautious and very careful in the words I chose.
That's why you corrected yourself.
No, I didn't screw up.
Yes, you did.
Illegal or legal immigrants is what we need. We have illegal immigrants here that if we gave amnesty towards, they would start paying into that system way earlier than kicking them all out and sending them back through this fucking ridiculous process to get them in here. So Truth's argument should be that we need illegal immigrants and we need amnesty of the people who deserve to stay.
Sorry, nobody. It's a nice idea.
The thing is,
put your idea in the suggestion box. Nobody voted for that.
Yeah. So one thing is,
half the country voted for that. If you claim half the country voted for all illegal immigrants to be removed from the country, then you claim the other half the country voted to have them stay and be given amnesty.
No, I said the majority of the American people. I was very clear on that. The American and most of the Electoral College as well. The American people have spoken. If you have a disagreement, vote for somebody else. But for now, we're covering. For now, we're a democracy.
And also,
let's look up
we have to clarify one thing, right? What you said was a speculation. One thing what's concrete is that we have a classification of legal and illegal. They're coming in illegally coming in, and the law says they should be out. That is illegal. Therefore, they should be deported. That's end of the story. If you don't think that process is correct or reasonable, then talk to the Congress and ask them to change the law. Now, the current law says they're illegal. Therefore, they're illegal. Therefore, they should be out. And if you're not happy with it, change the law with your academic study, and make it legal. Make the process legal. If you don't think the process is
that was my point. We need amnesty.
Go for.
That was exactly my point. We need amnesty.
But that doesn't mean that illegal is legal. Okay, that's logical fallacy.
I never said that it was. I never said that it was.
Okay, so what's your point?
So my point still stands. You're just arguing, but you're not arguing against my point. My point is that Social Security and Medicare cannot sustain itself without massive amounts of people. And those people are already here.
Everybody is legal. That's
I never said everyone is legal.
Voice opinion to the Congress.
See, you're making assumptions of what I said. I said that we need millions of people to sustain Social Security and Medicare, and people are here. And that if you want to
unfortunately, they're here illegally, and there's no
there's no illegal citizens on stolen land.
That I don't support deporting immigrants, then that's your assumption, because I am not saying
that's
that.
The law.
What I am saying is I'm going back to what Clinton promised us when I voted for him in 1992, when he promised us comprehensive immigration reform, where grandmas get to stay and the criminals have to.
Write him a letter if you're dissatisfied with Bill Clinton.
You know what?
I'm not gonna write anyone a letter.
Hold on. The relevant fact here is that he dropped 676,000 by New York's estimates, immigrants in the city of New York, and they're what we're going to call low-wage workers. What happens to the people working those low-wage jobs, and what happens to the housing costs of those people that are competing for houses with those 676,000 in New York City alone? Now we take another city. Let's take Fort Lauderdale or Miami, where immigration is very large. What happens in a few short years when all of a sudden you're having hundreds of thousands of people show up? I can tell you what happened. Literally, in 4 years, rent went from $1,750 to $3,750 for me. $4,000 currently, right now, because guess what? We have people filling them. And guess what? I don't think most of these people, when I see them, I know what they're doing for jobs. I know what's required to be here. 3 times the income a month, and yet they're not. Some aren't working. I know it for a fact. And guess what?
I understand.
So hold on. I'm just telling you. I know for a fact that people saying, well, they're taking the jobs nobody wants, and it's bullshit because I sold to 5 states, ag buildings to 5 states, commercial buildings to 5 states. The people building them were firing the people who were in their 40s and 50s that were making $25, $30 an hour in the trade of framing, and hiring guys working for $13 to $14 an hour, willing to work 6 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. All the things that the left, especially in the unions, fought against. So they're anti-union. Hold on, they're anti-union. They're anti what the union fought for, which was higher wage. They're bringing the wages down. And you know what? Once they do, they chase those people out. And now they're in their 40s and 50s having to do what? Go find another job, work at a Home Depot, work at a fast food restaurant, because they don't have the skills to compete at the other jobs out there because the trades are being low. The point is, it has a negative impact.
Them that you go back to your perfect little world the way that it used to be, and then go through the same problem again in 2030 when we actually need them when they're already here. My point is that it's ridiculous to, at this point in time, with everything that we've suffered, all of the things we've gone through, to just say get rid of them all, versus doing what every reasonable person who can look at this without a left or a right spin would say, some of them need to go, some of them should stay. The ones that should stay based on some level of merit, and we ought to forgive them of their sins if we are religious at all, and we ought to determine who should stay, who contributes, and give them amnesty. Otherwise, you're just disrupting everything for no fucking reason. And then in 2030,
You
we needed those people.
The nice idea. Write your Congressman.
We need hatred. They don't like that. It's too easy.
Grandstanding like
Hold on. No, simple thing. Simple. Under Biden, we heard this. We heard this repeatedly for 4 years. Elections have consequences. Norm just said, we heard that, fuck you, Trumpers, fuck you, Republicans. We heard all of this, right? But when it flips, and Stacey Abrams complains about election collusion and fraud, it's okay. When Al Gore says it, it's okay. When Hillary Clinton said it, it's okay. Trump says it's wrong. That's not even true, though. Hold on, stop. It's all true. I put it in a freaking literally on Hillary's.
No. I'm not saying what you said.
No, truth. You interrupted me. Let me finish, and I'll let you roll. Okay? Simple fact is what's happening right now is we have a bunch of people acting like children, spoiled children, because we heard for 4 years, accept it, you lost. That's what it was like. Rub your face in it, and now it's the other way, and you have an entire group acting like toddlers, throwing a holy fit, saying federal laws shouldn't be upheld.
They're losing their mind.
You literally had a governor and a mayor literally say that they're not law enforcement. Screw the federal laws. You had officials doing it. This is the problem that the left is having. Bill Maher, a leftist, blasting the Democrats harder than anybody on the right now because they're lunatics for it. And this is what we have to say. Elections have consequences. It doesn't matter if it was 100 votes more. The Electoral College kicked their ass. There's an Electoral College for a reason, because LA in New York City shouldn't make the decision for everybody in the red part of this country. Because if you look at a map, 98% of the country is red.
Yeah, but not by population.
They don't understand ag industry. They don't understand manufacturing. They don't understand those things.
And immigrants.
So just if I could just real fast. So the Democratic Party, much like the Republican Party, is not like a monolith. So like a lot of the stuff you were saying about, it was funny when the Democrats were doing, it's like, no, we infight all the time. We don't like that's like me holding you accountable for Mitch McConnell. Is that what you want? Because I'll do it. I guess you guys love fucking Mitch McConnell. Like, no, stop. First of all, Hillary Clinton got her ass whooped. Hillary Clinton got her ass whooped both times she primaried. Stop it. Stop. No. Anyway, so look, both parties are corrupt. Honestly, a lot of what you said isn't false, but it also applies to Republicans. Like, they cry just the same. They were bitching and whining all through Obama. They fucking talked about his tan suit for 2 weeks on Fox News when Reagan wore a tan suit, and they literally called him unpresidential for that. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. Both sides are just monopolized media campaigns against each other, and it's gross. All right, and I look, I get it. Your team won, you're happy. Okay, just know, you're getting shit on in the midterms. You're getting fucking wrecked because you're talking about, the whole map's red, but that's just land mass. That's not population. The metropolitan cities are demonstrably the Democrat. It just happens because they become immigration hubs. They become a center of liberal ideals, and they usually center around more higher education, which tends to bend to the left as well. So like, no, it's a losing game. I'm sorry. What are we talking about?
You think illegal immigration is a liberal ideal?
I'm sorry?
You think illegal immigration is a liberal ideal?
We don't. Listen, you have to understand something.
How is breaking the law a liberal ideal? Liberal is the rule of law.
Normal, hear me for a second.
Liberal is the opposite of illegal.
Hear me for a second. Some of us on the left, which is probably the majority of us, by the way. Oh, by the way, just real quick.
I don't know who us is, and I don't know who you think
I put this link in the chat. I put this link in the chat earlier, by the way. ICE has a 62% disapproval rating.
This is not going to be run by polls. It's going to be run by the law.
No, I'm just a long time ago, Republicans do not respond to polls.
I said that because earlier you were saying this is what the people voted for. I'm like, that's not what the polls.
It's what the people voted for.
Yeah, we'll see at the midterms. I don't think that's what the people voted for.
Sure. I don't think they're going to vote out the
polls. Do you think you're going to flip? Why are you basing your opinion on that?
Do you think it's going to switch in the midterm?
I hear your question. Just real quick, I want to tell.
Yeah.
He said bad hombres.
In what way is breaking the liberal ideal? I need to hear
These aren't bad hombres. We're watching people get raided at church and work. These aren't bad hombres. I'm sorry.
Right. So
we're seeing stats that show 70%, whatever Tom Holland said. We're seeing stats that are telling us 3 out of 4 have no criminal record. We don't like it. We don't like
explain.
We've already talked about that number's wrong.
Yeah,
you haven't proven it wrong.
So I want to understand what liberal ideal favors breaking the law. Which is the liberal?
I got a source. You didn't have a source, and then Norm put a source that didn't say anything.
Department of Homeland Security has the statistics.
Your source did not have anything, Norm. I went through it.
Just type in or you don't have information.
It's right. I do. Now, which liberal ideal is it? Which liberal ideal opposes breaking immigration law?
The grown man who has the burden of proof.
Yes, I posted the statistics. Which liberal ideal upholds?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Well, you're a liar, sir. I'm sorry. I must call you out as the liar that you are.
Where is it?
I must. Now you want to take your hand now and eat you a
I'm telling you it's not there. I'm challenging you.
Norm, you didn't know black people are either going
that ship is down.
I'm not arguing based on my...
You lost that one, Drew.
Link, you goofball.
You're incorrect.
His claim is not...
Now
it should be very easy to prove me wrong.
You lost that one, Truth. Now we've moved on to which liberal ideal is it? Hang on, you lost the statistics argument. Which liberal ideal upholds breaking immigration law?
So you notice that you're deflecting this, right? So we're going to read this
No, we moved on.
I already explained it to you. It's convictions versus charges.
I want data and evidence.
Yeah, we did this half an hour ago. You must have
still haven't provided one source.
Which liberal ideal
Your source was debunked. I'm not.
The Department of Homeland Security was
We're
debunked.
not moving past this. Make me look stupid.
Well,
Make
we
me
already
look
did
stupid,
look
Norm.
past it.
Bring your link back.
You already do. You did that for yourself.
Oh, I can't wait to do it twice.
No, I don't need to.
No, because
It's
I'm not
boring.
letting you move past this because you're lying.
Well, you just went backwards actually because you know.
Oh, so now you don't want to
Because
expose
I
me
already did
as
expose
a
you.
liar.
That's fair.
Is
So
anybody
now
else?
we're up to
How
please
easy
listen
would it
carefully.
be?
And now you've changed my subject. You said you were.
He called me a liar.
That's correct.
He's not going to
You
do that.
said
He's a fucking liar.
you said
That's how
you said that liberal ideals. Which liberal? No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Why do you think the first thing after I got
there are
the
hundreds of pages.
what do I put in to find your plan?
Okay, let's go. No,
Oh,
you
so now
figure
you're
that
gonna play
part out.
stupid
If you
and
don't know how to
play
use a website, I'll give you a basic class on how to use the World Wide Web.
Right here. How about you ask
Okay.
for it?
All right, I know.
Name your fucking
So now, I asked you for the fifth time. I understand. I asked you for the fifth time what liberal idea.
So he wants to move on. All right, now I'll beat the shit out of you in front of
No, we
everybody.
moved on half an hour
Move
ago.
on.
You just got caught.
You look
We
goofy
already
as
did
hell and
move on.
everybody knows it. Next,
We moved well
what's
only
next
to
thing
you.
you want to deflect
Only to you because you're afraid.
Yeah, I'm
After
afraid.
we already did.
Next.
Already did. Oh, yes, you are, clearly. So, having defeated
Oh, I
you
just pissed myself.
statistically,
Norm, I just pissed myself.
which
I got
liberal
Norm, I got
ideal-
some underwear. I just pissed. Hold on.
which liberal ideal upholds breaking the law? Tell us.
Oh, so it's not about breaking the laws. We want to change a law. We want open borders.
well,
Once secure
Petition your
borders.
representative.
We want secure borders, but we still want them open.
Yes. So
administrative capacity.
petition your congressman.
Yeah, that's why they didn't want to let ICE into
people
California. You understand that, right? They've already kind of figured it out. They have sanctuary cities.
Right.
Apparently,
the American people
ICE has
disagree
a
with you.
60%
So
disapproval
I
rating.
guess
The
you're going to
American people are
have
not
to make a more persuasive argument.
Cool.
This
So
is
you want to
a
bet money on
poll,
the
not
midterms?
an
Let's
election.
put money
It
up
is
right now on the
useless to your
midterms.
argument. Now,
Norm, let's put money
explain
up
to me
on the midterms
why.
right now.
Why are you in favor of?
Yeah,
why are you in favor
it's
of
not easy
illegal
money, is it,
immigration?
Norm? But you just said this is what the people voted
Why
for,
are you
right?
changing the subject
Well,
again?
it's
Why are you in
like-
favor? I'm not talking about easy money. You think the really fucking
No, I think
from the midterm? Okay.
When they
So
flip
explain to me
everything.
why do you favor illegal immigration? Truth, why are you in favor of illegal immigration, and what ideal does that represent?
Well, the reason
If you
why,
know.
so I'm a leftist, so there's no illegal people on stolen land.
Nobody said
I
that.
think it's
No
hypocritical.
land
I
has
think
been
it's
stolen.
hypocritical. I think it's hypocritical.
Nobody said the people are illegal. We said they're breaking the law, and nobody stole any land.
No, so how did we get America? It was given.
We moved here and settled it.
They moved.
Yes. And that includes you, by the way. So once again, what
That is
liberal
exactly
idea?
how a Jewish person would explain.
Why
I'm
do
black,
you
Norm. I didn't
favor?
move here, Norm.
Yes, you did actually.
As
Yes,
a
you
black
did.
person, Norm.
Yes, as a black person. Yes, you moved here as a black person.
You son of a bitch.
So what liberal ideal?
You're smiling. I can hear you.
Why are you in favor of breaking the law? Happy Black History Month, by the way. Why are you in favor of breaking the law?
No, you are.
Why are you in favor of breaking the law? Explain.
How dare you?
Yes. Well, what do you mean? I can't wish you a happy Black History Month.
Truth.
You know what?
Intellectual whipping your ass.
Wait, I got to understand.
Whipping your black ass.
Truth, he's not whooping nobody black. First of all, was that
Wow.
the truth?
Listen to the room. Read the room, brother. So
When you
why
say
are you
it's all-
in favor of breaking?
Hold on, Norm.
Explain that one.
He's not going to answer you, Norm.
Why are we in favor of breaking the law? Because the law's unjust, just like freeing slaves was good.
So write your diet.
Somebody? You
So you have no justification, right?
Add law?
So you have no argument except that why is the law unjust?
NPC, whatever the law system tells me, I owe that.
Why is the law unjust, Truth?
Nobody's as stupid as you. You're as dumb
Why
as
is the
you
law
are.
unjust,
You're not
Truth?
even as dumb as you pretend to be.
Why is the law unjust? That's the first answer.
Hey,
Why
I
is
think
the law
they should have
unjust?
just followed the law and reported the Jews to the fucking Nazis.
Why
don't
is
you
the
just
law
follow the law and
unjust?
report the Jews to the Nazis?
Stop dancing, Truth. This is not a dance party. Truth, this is not a dance party, Truth.
I don't let
Why is the law unjust?
my morality, you simple old man.
Why is the law unjust, Truth?
Why is the law unjust?
answer is
Because it's
yes.
rarely based in ethic, almost always based in leverage.
So
I love you that the people moved here, Norm.
I
That's
love
what
young
you
dogs
said.
fucking.
Why is the law unjust?
Depends on you, right?
You said the
You're
Native Americans
dictator law.
say, hey, you don't
decide
move at it,
which
I'm
law
going to
to
move out.
enforce.
I'm waiting to hear why the law is unjust. That's the only substantive thing you said. Why is it unjust? What's unjust about
law is not inherently just or unjust. It's
no, I never said that. Why is this law unjust? You said it was unjust. You said that.
So specifically to America's history, the way
No, the immigration law, not.
No, I'm explaining. I'm literally telling you, and it's not going to be some big preamble. It's going to take a second. The leftist perspective, for those of us who share this, essentially boils down to a philosophy of live and let live. We can afford it. It'd be one thing if we believed there was scarcity and we were literally in danger. That's a different thing. But we're no, we have enough.
You don't think the country's in debt right now?
We're in debt, but we still have abundance.
Oh, so then we do have an issue with spending money that we don't have, right?
I mean, we just spent how much money on ICE? 190 billion over the next 5 years?
You agree? You agree that we have limited resources, correct? You said we have the money, but in fact we're in debt.
I would, in my opinion, America could turn it around, but it'd have to actually take a non-corrupt Congress and Senate. Our issue is
the resources are limited.
Can I interject?
Please do. Go ahead.
I think most people agree because our budget is.
Were you alive during Y2K, Truth?
Yeah, I was 9.
Okay, so during Y2K, we had $5 trillion in debt. 25 years later, we're 38 trillion.
Yeah, thanks, debt. Bush.
So here's the thing.
I know too.
Oh yeah, and I love that because if you actually go look, every fucking president blew it up. Everybody. So you can thank Obama, and you can thank everybody else. The one time that it was balanced under Clinton. Let me finish. The one time it was balanced under Clinton. That was Newt Gingrich's first time that they had control in 40 fucking years. And he came in and he balanced the budget. Was it really balanced? Fuck no. Let's be real. But every president has surged the spending, okay? But the point is this, and you can try to point blames and do the whataboutism. Thanks, Bush. Remember that whataboutism thing you hated?
No, that's legitimate.
And this is why you get whataboutism.
Hold on. We were talking about...
you tell me since 2000, Truth, I let you go on.
We have a surplus under Clinton. You're wrong. What are you saying?
25 years. Tell me what is $33 trillion better. What is $30
We had a surplus under Clinton. That's why it's relevant, Goofy. Hello?
And who is responsible for that?
The surplus.
I'm waiting to hear why the law is unjust. Nobody is telling.
No, it wasn't. No. So honestly, if you want my real opinion, he deregulated the financial sector.
Got rid of
we're in debt. He literally got rid of the Glass-Steagall Act.
He got rid of the 2008 crisis. Exactly.
We don't.
I don't think you guys know what you're talking about. So
we do because you were 8.
Hold on. Do you know what the Glass-Steagall Act even is?
Yes.
You know what happened in 2008?
Wait, what? Hold on. Do you understand that only happened because of the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act and the associated financial regulation? It could not have happened. We can look this up right now.
I'm waiting to hear why the law is unjust.
Glass-Steagall happened in 98.
Hold on, real quick.
He's throwing deflections down. The topic is you disagree with the law. So now you want to break the law.
Deregulate the financial sector. The crash
of breaking the law is a liberal ideal. You're saying breaking the law is a ideal.
No, it's not that breaking the law is liberal. It's by the way, just real fast.
That's what you said.
I don't think it's left or right. I think rather it's human to resist laws you find unjust.
What's unjust about it?
Well, I explained from the left, we view America as abundant. You might disagree, but that's fine. You know what's funny?
It's abundant, but it's not unlimited, and it's for Americans, not for anybody who runs across the border.
I'm not mad at you for thinking that, but we believe.
You don't have the stance to be angry at me. You haven't explained yourself.
Whatever you're posturing. I'm saying I respect your position.
Basically, so the law is unjust.
He thinks that whoever is rich on the block, they deserve to be robbed. And because they're rich.
You almost might say that again. It's something Jesus might agree with, but maybe you guys don't.
Say this again.
Norm, chill out. Norm, chill. Can I ask?
Maybe you guys don't.
I want to ask Truth the question. Truth, you said as a leftist you believe in no borders, open borders, no borders. But then you call them
borders but secure borders.
That Truth. Come on, man. You said
I literally said open borders but secure borders. That's all I said.
You said as a leftist we believe in no borders.
That's not what I said. I said open and secure borders.
How is it a contradiction in terms?
No, it just means
That's a
yes,
logical
we screen them, but
contradiction.
we don't limit them.
In other words, why are we screening them? What are we screening them for?
What are we
For
screening
criminals
for?
and terrorists. Are you insane?
Well,
Are you
that's
insane?
a limitation. That's a limitation. What are you
No,
talking
that's
about?
not you're misunderstanding. We don't just
No,
let the
you're
floodgates open
misusing
and let
words.
the whole world in. That's not our policy. But I'm saying fuck that. Remove the quota up to administrative capacity, meaning like what we can actually bureaucratically manage. Let
We're
people
5 years behind. We're 5 years
hire
behind.
more
in setting
people.
these-
Down to the audience today.
We don't have the money to hire more
Get it
people.
done fast.
We don't have the
Speed
money.
that
We let
process
a million immigrants in a year, just under. That's more than any country on the planet. You're arguing for more.
And
Explain.
how many countries on the planet are as big as America?
Russia's bigger. China's
80%
bigger.
of Russia's
India is
uninhabitable.
bigger. Excuse me,
80% of Russia's uninhabitable.
Right, that's correct. Russia's bigger. China's bigger. India's bigger. Australia's bigger. None of them have big
India's not
policy.
bigger than the United States. They have a larger population.
Yes, India is much bigger. India has a billion people.
No, we're not about talking about population. We're talking about land mass.
Why are you talking about land mass?
Because that's where
What are they
people
talking
live, Norm.
No, they don't live in the empty parts of the country. They all
They
move
live
to
in
the cities.
habitable land.
They all move to the cities, as you said a moment ago, and the cities are overcrowded, dirty, and not only are they overcrowded,
New cities can get created, Norm. New cities can get created.
Exactly.
Well, go start a city.
No, the immigrants will. And they'll
Go start a new city.
The immigrants will. I'm not an immigrant.
You're contradicting yourself.
Start a new city and then you truth.
You're just contradicting yourself.
This is actually
All
just
the inhabited land in Russia
I just posted something.
can be inhabited by creating the cities. You just said that.
I'm sorry. Can you just one more
You
time?
said the Russia cannot be inhabited. Has lots of uninhabitable land, but you can create. You can make it inhabitable by creating the cities.
Correct.
No, what the fuck? Am I talking that? Oh, sweet Jesus. Do you know
Yes,
why?
you're such a dumbass.
Do you know why Russia's uninhabitable?
Why?
Because they're broke.
Why is it?
Because
it's
uninhabitable.
because it's broke.
Tundra.
No, it's because it's broke.
Because they
Okay,
can live in it.
name to me all the cities that live in that equilibrial line. Go ahead and tell a longitudinal line. I'm sorry. Go ahead and tell me.
Why is
What are these famous northern cities past that uninhabitable? You know it's the same for Canada. Hold on, Canada's broke too, right? Did you know 80% of Canada's uninhabitable? I guess they're just broke.
It is inhabitable. Yes, you can make it so.
Sure, they
You
did.
can
They created
make it
Magneto. Siberia is inhabited.
This is
There are people living in Siberia.
People live in Siberia.
Siberia is one of the bro. I hate when people do this. There's people living in
You
Death
should
Valley.
hate it because you're embarrassing yourself.
Check it out now.
You're actually talking to people who know more than you. You're talking to more experienced, more educated, more
You
knowledgeable
think you just
people.
educated me on Siberia's existence?
Siberia has people
No, the fact
living in
that
it.
it keeps on
educating you on
You think I didn't know a place that's named has people in it? You
Apparently
think I
you
didn't know a place that's named had people in it? Okay.
Apparently you didn't know.
Okay,
You
Dark,
said it
shut
was
the fuck up.
uninhabitable, and there are about one person per square mile in that uninhabitable range, which means it's habitable. The difference is it's a shitty environment, and I don't know.
At some point, you guys are just being
areas of
out
fucking
of
left.
You got it. You guys.
So explain to us why immigration law is unjust.
This is
Why
why
it's unjust. If we democratically
you're being sassy. This is
if we democratically create a law, explain to us why it's unjust.
Shut up!
Yes, sir, I need to
Shut up! Goddamn, shut up! Nobody. What the fuck? What? Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! You're a fucking one
That's not working.
there.
That strategy is not working for you.
Imagine considering yourself an honest person, and this is how you construct conversation. Well, actually, bro.
Maybe you should whine and complain about it.
Uninhabitable right now. It will give you a number, but then you're gonna argue with that number. Man, fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, your victim card has been declined. Do you have any other cards, sir?
Disingenuous bet. First of all,
Sir, do you have any other cards? The victim
got
declined.
like 6 people.
Sir.
Second of all, you're all disingenuous.
How do you intend to pay for your
You're all
victim cards?
disingenuous. It's not like you're good fakers. This is like you guys are competing with each other to see how much you can hurt because you guys don't have good points. So you're like grasping at straws.
Why do you say that immigration law is unjust?
The best fucking territory in the world. You go, well, they could live in the tundra. They could make it work. Why do you disagree? But don't make it.
We have 1 million immigrants per year legally.
Don't make a fucking retarded ass argument.
We have more immigrants than any other country in human history.
Christian talking like this, by the way. What the fuck?
Wow, now you're going to play the religion card? Are you running out of cards?
They can just deal with the country. You're not a fucking Christian. Shut the fuck up.
Actually, they do deal with the country.
You want someone to live in Siberia, so
they do live in Siberia.
They do live in Siberia, dumbass.
Politics. You should visit Magneto.
You know the history of Siberia. Why people live there?
Fucking college kids don't know they live in Siberia.
I think he dropped out of college. He definitely didn't take Russian history.
Motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Would you like to read some Russian history? You learn a lot about why people live in Siberia.
They don't deserve. This is country hick shit. You are a descendant of a serf, you idiot. You're looking down on them. You're not better.
Why is the law unjust, Truth?
What the fuck are you even saying?
I'm saying to you that your point is unsubstantiated. You don't like the immigration law, but you haven't said why.
I already told you. Because we think it's inhumane. We think
how is it inhumane?
It's the best, largest landmass of like the collectively like the most temperate, and it has the money. And it just doesn't make sense. It's
so I can look at other people's money. Can I go wherever? Can I go anywhere I want to?
We don't like greed.
Can I move to Switzerland? Switzerland has a nice snowy environment. Can I just move there?
Listen, we know how you fucking just keep counting your checks.
I don't have any checks. Are you asking for a loan, Bruce? Are you asking for a loan, Bruce?
Hey, God, out
Are you asking for a loan? Are you broke?
Instead of wondering why you don't get it, you're actually fucking phony baloney ass conservative.
Bring it home. From the home of the crumbling cheese.
And the home of the
Clinically insane.
Really? The Star Spangled Banner is
too much Pepsi. Too much Pepsi to really? McDonald's.
How about two little points, Truth?
Truth, sing the
black. That's
okay,
buddy. Too little intelligence.
Black one. You got it.
Of course we do.
Norm, where's that link again?
To the DHS?
Truth in the link below. In the chat.
Can you really not find the DHS website? Do I need to take your hand?
You sent me a YouTube link? What is this?
No, I didn't send you.
I did.
I sent you the DHS.
Hold on.
No, you didn't send me anything.
If you watch the YouTube link,
yeah, I did.
If you watch
you did it. Okay, okay, do it again.
If you watch the YouTube link, if you watch the
ignored it the first time.
You know,
if you want to use it,
just keep fucking.
It's the fucking World Bank, dumb fuck on immigration explaining it. So just shut the fuck up and listen. Watch it. It's
Who the
World
fuck
Bank
you call
data.
dumb fuck? I
Shut the fuck up. You've been fucking running your fucking punk ass mouth fucking for the last.
I know that's all right.
That's crazy. Shut the fuck up. I have the fucking brain of yours.
Don't lower yourself to
So Andrew gets on a new page and all of a sudden he ganks it. That's crazy.
Now, here's what's gonna happen.
Nah, fuck you, nigga.
Nah, fuck you, bitch.
I'll
put my fucking foot in your back. People want to do it legally. I'll get the fucking I'll fucking end you. Shut the fuck up. Stop being disrespectful, little punk ass bitch.
You must be an atheist.
So now, if you want evidence, you watch this thing and it's from the World Bank. Using World Bank data. Can't shut the fuck up because he has no motherfucking brain.
I'm not
trying,
bro. You already insulted me in a crazy way. No one on stage is
anything because his fucking brain is fucking work.
You, dog.
This is why he can't fucking listen.
Okay, you talk
This is why he's a fucking idiot. This is why he's misinformed.
You can keep calling
why he's a dumbass. This is why he's a dumbass.
You can talk.
This is why he's a little bitch.
Mark is everything. I'm the one kissing his pants.
He can't shut his fucking mouth.
You're literally crying like
he can't shut his fucking mouth.
Okay, brother.
All right, let's try not to do the slurs, guys, or all getting messed up.
That's not Andrew. Andrew, I was about to hate you.
Where you curse. I don't know who's doing the slurs, but no slurs and no all end you stuff.
Andrew, we're trying to have a play.
So
wait, I stand and talk at the same time.
Shut up. Mike.
Oh my God, he sounds like you. I'm glad that's not you. Oh, thank God.
What's up, Drew?
I thought I was getting trolled, bro. I thought fucking Ashley Cooper.
You're good, brother. You're good.
Troll ass bitch.
No.
You can't stop running your mouth.
You're
So
good.
here's the facts.
Why does he sound so much like you? What the
Andrew, this is the thing. I put in the link below. He always wants facts.
He does sound like me.
This is using World Bank data. World Bank data on immigration. It breaks it down into what the U.S. does and what it does for global poverty. We take in 1 million. Each gumball stands for 1 million. This is using their data. And you look at what it does. You can see what they explain. And using World Bank data, what it would do to the U.S. economy using World Bank data. Watch it. It's a little video that's just using gumballs so the simple mind can understand the reality of what people think. Because, see, we got to look at it. And this is a socialist that said this. Nothing has ever been produced in a socialist country. It's a conservatism that rise up, a capitalism. They produce, and then it starts to feel good. And what happens? They start to push social values, and then they start to undermine the way of life that it is. Now, if you just watch the data that he produces using World Bank data, you'll see why that happens and why you need to have regulations on who can come in and why that is. This isn't no left or right. It's using data and numbers. So that's all I wanted to say. So you wanted all this information before, just go sit down and watch this little video. And then I want to hear you defend that we can just have open borders, not secure borders. Because, you know, we know that terrorists came across because even under Biden, they admitted that. But it's okay because nobody would come here with harm in their minds. Come on, man.
I didn't say that. Come on. I said open, but come on. Don't straw me.
And that's the funny part. Open but secure. It doesn't make sense.
It's not be right now open but secure. Isn't that the goal? Don't we just disagree what it's supposed to be? Like, what the fuck?
Hey, Truth, do you leave your front door open but secure?
Comparing my house to the country is just not even worth my time.
No, it's
that's just an insane fucking thing.
What does open and secure mean?
Oh, so it basically means we have tight border security. I think it's still not tight enough.
It is a valid comparison.
Yeah, we can meet in the middle there. It's not secure enough. It's not secure enough. I think that's on purpose, by the way. I think they're trafficking kids themselves, but let me not get into it. The point is, we definitely need to lock down that shit. I agree with you. But that being said, if someone is like just a regular person trying to get a job, checks out, you know, and it's like triage. It's like someone, you know, they're low-key refugees, bro. We're the richest country on earth. I don't know what to say. Like, if somebody's trying to get in here, I don't feel comfortable telling them no unless we literally can't take them.
Okay, we'll tell them for you then. No problem.
They can come in.
We'll be the grown-ups.
Holy shit, bro. Truth, there is nothing stopping an immigrant from legally migrating here. Legally migrating here.
There's nothing stopping. You know that's not true.
Except that, Truth, there were also millions of people who are waiting their turn and are using the process and want to enter the country legally. Those are the people I care about, not the dumb fucks who can just walk across the border and say, I'm here. Oh, I have asylum. Oh, you have to let me
Alan,
stay.
that's not hard to do.
Okay, that's the first thing. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them.
Oh my God.
I care about the millions of people who are willing to do the process.
Calling someone
correctly.
a dumb fuck for doing what they gotta do.
See, here's the thing, Truth, and this is what the left always does. They always, you take a basic principle, and yes, they're leaving the door to your house open and comparing it to the country is a valid comparison. And you saying it isn't is because you know you will get crushed on that issue.
No, because I just
exactly you will get crushed. You leave the door to your house open. Therefore, this tree is where
I do allow guests.
Reside.
Hold on, do I allow guests?
So if I come in your house, and start eating your food,
if I vet
and clear you out and take your
secure,
fine. Yeah, good for you. Well, the rest of us don't do that. And this is what the left does.
It makes us more Christian.
No, it's not more Christian. You don't speak for Christians. Because
the fact
is,
what the Bible says.
what the left
Look what I got
does.
Wait,
This
the
is
Bible
what the
says to
left
break the
does.
law?
They take a
What
basic
page is that on? I
principle.
missed that page entirely.
I'm gonna land. Let me finish. They take a basic principle, like you protect your borders, and then they use the empathy card. Oh, these people they're so impoverished. Their conditions in their country are horrible. Oh, we have to let them in. And then they argue that not letting them in is a bad thing and that we should do it. No, it's a basic principle. You protect your house, you protect your community, you protect your state, you protect your country. All of those things are in line and are basic common sense.
I don't think we're giving those up.
And if you advocate for open borders, that
immigration is not going to make the country less safe.
That means anybody can come in.
I think that's kind of racist.
You cannot say, well, I advocate for open borders, but secure borders. The two don't coincide.
Yeah, that's actually just not true. Honestly,
no, that actually
is true. That's a contradiction.
It's actually true because
it's a logical fallacy.
It's not a logical.
It's a logical fallacy.
You can't be open
and legal. You got to pick one.
Hold on, I can't wait for Norm because it's 5 people are replying, but I can't wait for Norm to explain how that's a logical fallacy. Using axiomatic arguments.
Because you open and then you exclude those who you don't want. Correct? That's the secure part, right?
Yes. Kind of like the TSA.
So that's what we're doing now.
Yeah,
so the secure part is if you're not legal, the secure part is if you're not legal, you don't come in.
Yeah,
that's the secure part.
Here's a quick question.
So it's open, but it's secure.
Do we have people?
He said,
no, why do you guys filibuster? You just spoke.
How's it open?
I'm not replying to 3
We're excluding the
Let me reply
who enter illegally and who are
people who don't follow the law are criminals.
Okay, guys, now you're just dogpiling and you're adding to it. Come on, I got enough to reply to.
No, you earned a little bit of dogpiling because you filibuster. That's too bad, isn't it? Victim card declined.
So you got your butt feelings hurt because
victim
you
card
put a shitty link up and I called you out.
Victim card
He's over here butt hurt.
Victim card. I'm sorry, sir. Do you have any other cards besides the victim card?
You've identified
your cheerleaders to the side, right? Just to address what you said, right? It's as simple as this. Are you able to get on the airplane? Yes. Does the TSA check you? Yes. So it's almost like it's secure but open for business. This is too stupid. I'm not doing it. You guys
that wasn't me, Alan.
You guys
it's not open.
You don't understand the concept.
Okay, one at a time.
That's an IQ problem, and you got to figure that out amongst yourselves.
That's a personal attack, Truth.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
One at a time.
You're going to secure an area, but also people inside of it. You're an idiot.
Yeah, Truth. You've identified the problem clearly.
Truth is very low level. Very low level.
Okay, no,
very low level. You don't know how to use a website.
Norm.
You don't know how to use it.
Norm, I can't.
You are literally a sophist.
Go for it, Alan. Alan, go for it.
Stop interrupting. You've identified the problem clearly. You want secure borders. And if they're criminals and rapists, et cetera, then you would exclude those. Well, under the Trump administration, the secure borders part of your secure but open borders includes people who don't apply for the process legally and who just walk across the border or fly in or overstay their welcome. When they do that, they are criminals. We kicked them out. Now, I understand under Biden, he let 20 million people in and said, if you walk across the border, you can stay. Trump is saying no. He's moved that line from what is secure or not secure and what is criminal to not criminal to a different place that maybe you don't like, But the rest of the country and the rest of the world, since immigration has been either number one or number two, the number one or number two issue, according to Pew Research, since 2016. And it's a huge issue in Europe. People are concerned about it. So, yeah, what?
Yeah, but ISIS going over.
But Alan, this is easy
No, it
to
isn't.
debunk.
They have a 60.
Alan,
They have a
it's easy to
62%
debunk Trump's
disapproval
appearance.
rating, bro.
Over 50.
They have a
lawsuits.
62% disapproval rating, bro.
Yeah, well, except that when you
That's
look
pretty
at the
bad.
stats, like 70% agree with Trump's policies with immigration.
There's legitimacy.
They may not
America started
like
caring about
the
immigration
way
in the early
ISIS
2000s.
doing
No,
it, but
I don't
they
disagree.
like the results.
But what did he say?
Sure
Bad
like
hombres,
the
Alan. He
results.
said bad hombres, surrounding people up at church and work, bro.
Yeah.
No, Americans are not happy with
if
that.
they-
I don't even know how you can notice. You're almost disconnected from reality.
Too bad
Being
for
in
them.
church doesn't make you not a criminal.
Yeah.
They're not.
You do realize most
churches.
Americans are
You
really
gotta know.
unhappy with the two people. I think is it 2 or 3? Is it more than 2 that ISIS killed already?
Yeah, and you know how many died under
I
Obama?
blame
Like,
the governor
I don't care
of
about
Minnesota.
Obama, bro. This
Yeah.
is 2026.
You
Alan.
know what? People have died because of ICE under every single president. So if it's only 2 under Trump, that means at the end of his 4 years, it'll be 8. Or let's give him another 2, so it'll be 16.
It's February.
He'll be doing much better than Obama did. That's for sure.
It's February.
What's your point about it being February?
and
What does that have to
we've
do with
already gone
anything?
through 1 year.
ICE didn't get the packet and the ramp up until
And the
what?
other thing is the fact that the Trump administration has been sued 50 or 60 times for a whole host of things. And they've all worked their ways through the court. What Trump is doing now, everything is constitutional and it's legal, with 1 or 2 exceptions, like we had the Supreme Court ruling about the tariffs. Okay, well, you know,
Good.
1 out of
Thank God.
60. Okay, that just proves, number one, that the branches of government are independent. You can never scream that the Supreme Court is bought off or it's doing Trump's bidding.
Because of one decision?
Yeah, no, it's got a couple of decisions, but still,
I'll meet you there. I'll meet you
the
there.
same. It's still not kissing Trump's ass. It's
That's
doing
true. I can give
what
you
it
that.
believes is constitutional, and everything that ICE is doing is constitutional. And it is, yeah, it is, and it's not criminal.
When they're asking for papers, that's violating Fourth Amendment.
50 to 60 lawsuits brought by the Democrats. They're holding Trump to the fire. It's working its way through. They've worked their ways through the court. It's done. You cannot claim it's legal, and all of the illegal, Trump illegal, administration illegalized. It's all bullshit. It's constitutional. It's not anything new. The only difference is the left is pissed off because they're not in power. That's all it is.
There's some element of truth to that. Look, I don't disagree with everything you said, but I don't agree with the characterization. I think that yes, we can talk about what happened under other presidents, but actually Obama was getting hella flack from the left. You have to remember, the left it has a significant percentage of, I would argue more than half, they're like pro-Bernie types. Okay, like so this is a party that rejected Hillary Clinton twice. We keep getting characterized, and it's really annoying because it's like that's not real.
Well, I was on the left truth during Obama.
I'm sorry?
So I know exactly what you're talking about. What happened was Obama, you're right, he got a lot of shit because the left felt, and the progressives especially, felt like, oh my God, we've got a black president. We're going to get all these progressive policies put in, and guess what? Obama didn't do it. Now, I know people on the right feel like Obama was the coming of the Antichrist, but from the left, he didn't do enough according to them. And then when they didn't nominate Bernie, you're right, they were really pissed. And so when Trump was elected, the progressives said, you know what? You either give us all of our policies or we're going to withdraw our support and Trump will win again. And so the left made the deal with the progressives. And no, they didn't get Bernie again, but they got Biden. And Biden did everything they wanted. So, yeah, you're right.
Until he fell asleep.
Until Biden fell asleep. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, and to the point, like look, I think most reasonable, moderate people on the left, we respectfully disagree with people on the right who are a little more gung ho about maintaining, certain populations. But I think everyone, even Middle America, it was getting pretty crazy. It was getting over the top, and I think most of the country on both sides wanted something done. But I think they've just gone too far. Even if they haven't, which that's just me extending grace, I think they have, of course. The optics are horrible. Like, the rhetoric is a runaway train. This isn't just like he said, she said now. It literally, you have people shooting people and then calling them stupid bitch. There's no way you sell them. That's insane.
Well, he was angry that she got herself killed. I mean, he didn't want to kill her. I mean,
no,
you call what they were doing. You call what they were doing in Minnesota respectful disagreement?
No, but
I call that
they're
breaking
not
the
professionals
law.
of the state. They're not professionals of the state.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
Because it's about public reaction. That's why I said the optics and the rhetoric is a runaway.
What?
That matters. Okay, so if people are
protesting, she assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon and got her ass killed.
Got her.
She shouldn't have done that. And the governor and the mayor encouraged her to do it, and so did her wife.
I did not see that in the video I watched. I saw her trying to move around him.
Break it down. If she hits him with the car that's not around him?
She was trying to move around him.
You have to wait till the person is out of the way before you try to hit him with the car.
In front of the car.
Well, no, he circled in front of the car before she put her foot on the gas.
Well, no, it all happened in the exact same moment. It was literally
he was circling the car. It's on the video.
I all saw the video.
He literally did a 360 around the car.
On how we see it for some reason.
No, we're not split on how we see it. It's all the same.
Yes, the country is split on how we see all
these. No, it's not. It's very clear what happened.
So when you talk to Democrats, what did Democrats tell you about it?
Uninterested. What? This is not a Democratic.
So we don't exist. The country's not split. Okay,
this is a question of facts. She hit him with a deadly weapon.
Cool.
She got her ass shot.
Cool. This difference between you and me, I don't argue with people. I get it. I get what you believe.
That's not an opinion. That's the legal standing. What's the legal standing of an officer's duty with a vehicle?
Bro, I'm not going to have this argument. First of all,
I know, because you can't win it.
You proved yourself way too rude to. No, you
Truth, I beg you to do this. There's a judge that is on here quite often, and you can go talk to him about it if you'd like. And I bet you, when he's all said and done explaining every aspect of the law, he's going to explain to you this. There will never be a charge in that case. There will be charges in the other one.
Justices always agree.
Truth.
Just answer that.
There will be charges in the other one. Not necessarily against the man who first pulled the trigger. It'll be for the man that was hitting the guy in the face with the bear.
Cool. I got you. Do Supreme Court justices always agree? No, right? So what is you telling me you found a judge who has an opinion do for me?
The fact that
I would say it's an attempt to educate you.
You think I can't find a judge who disagrees? Is that what you're betting money on?
It's an attempt to educate you, but you're proving very resistant to learning.
You think I can't find cash money a leftist judge who has an opinion that's state?
What do you think is an appropriate reaction?
He's a gay man.
A verbal reaction to get.
You're thinking is far right, and he's a gay man.
If you're talking about Brennan, he's not a judge.
Yeah, what do you think is the appropriate reaction to getting someone?
Why you think you know who or what Bren is?
I think if someone is trying to escape you and they're clearly not a lethal threat to yourself or anyone else, you don't put yourself in front of them and draw your gun. That's not.
Yeah,
I think you probably let them get away, get their license plate, maybe pull them over at their fucking house a couple hours later.
While they're hitting you with the car,
he put himself in front of the car.
He was doing a 360 around the car.
Yeah,
you're allowed to do that. That doesn't mean you can hit him with the car.
No,
again,
you let them get away. If you let them get away, they can hit other people, including innocent pedestrians. So to let them get away is not a valid excuse.
Yeah,
It never has been.
Truth, would you put your money where your mouth is on this case?
Girlfriend that you already have.
I don't want to be. I deserve to be a mile away.
Empty the clip.
I deserve to
Right?
be
Empty
able
the clip.
to walk
So let
down
him
the
get away.
street and not have to worry about some crazed protester driving me and my 3-year-old child as I'm walking down the street over because some cop just let them get away.
Really, bro?
She would,
The only people getting ran over are leftists.
I'm pulling the
Republicans
heartstrings.
run over leftist protesters for fun.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
funny
this.
how when the left
No, but that's actually true.
Yeah, well, actually, see what happened, Truth, is if you watch the video, when she backs up, it points, at first, he was on the right side of her car, but when she backs up to go, that pointed the car right at him. That was
No, that's not what I saw.
Well, you got to. There's multiple angles of it.
If you guys are bored enough, we can watch the video right now. Right?
You can see it on his cell phone video. He literally hit him with the car.
And then she hits him. You hit a police here.
PTR. Yo, shut the fuck up, Alan. PTR, look at my PTR right now.
Let me
you can see the smoke of the first gunshot. Look at the guy's legs. Look at his feet. Look at the tires of the car.
Yeah.
Tell me how the fuck he got hit with a car.
Yeah.
Tell me how the fuck
you
can see him.
Thank you.
Show me. He goes, look at my PTR right now. I pointed the shit out. You see the gun smoke of the first shot. You can hear the car hit him.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Show me how even close. She's not only turning her tires. She's nowhere close to him.
You understand that she hit him with the car, right? You don't.
No. Look, click on my PTR, you fucking idiot. Click on my PTR. Look at the PTR. Because
you're not
do this in slow motion. You can do that. I did this in slow motion.
Yeah.
Look at the car tires. Look at his legs. Look at.
Okay, now you're being willfully ignorant.
Oh
you
my.
know, yeah, you are, because you know she hit him.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. In none of the videos. She didn't.
Everybody knows he went to the hospital with a bruised ribs.
Yeah, he went to the hospital.
But the fact is, let me make it easy for you. If you hit a cop with your car, 90%.
You're so stupid.
You will be
Show me how this is even close. Do you know how to click a profile, man? Do you know how to fucking click a profile?
Do you know how to read the fucking law?
With the car, I want you to respond. I
don't think he knows how to watch the video. Show me. Show me
watch video.
They're just gonna gaslight you, bro.
He had already shot the gun.
Look at the law.
He had already shot the gun.
That's why you
I am close to getting hit.
Because it's like they're never going to agree, bro. They're never going to agree.
I am not going to indulge.
We can just agree to disagree, guys. Like it's not even.
All right, hold on. Let Alan go. And here's the facts. An officer doesn't have to wait till he's struck to pull the trigger. Okay? He has to believe he's in imminent danger, in which a car is coming at him or himself, or him or others could be in imminent danger. The lady was resisting arrest. They were trying to get her out of the vehicle. Now,
and they told her,
please watch the video. Please watch the video. And
I have the video and the snapshots of it.
And how many times before that did they let her just drive away? How many times?
Bro,
just answer the question.
Accelerator and the wheel.
It doesn't matter.
Agree. I don't want to.
It doesn't matter about agreeing. I'm asking a simple question that's going to come
up. No, because I don't. You're going to be shocked. I don't have the perspective you have.
Okay, it doesn't matter if you have the perspective. I have the perspective that the law is going to have, and he's not going to get even charged. This is going to go down exactly.
You're saying he didn't get hit with the car. Now you guys are backpedaling. He didn't get hit with the car.
No, he didn't get hit.
No, you're backpedaling. Now you're saying he just needed to think.
Well, no, that's the legal standard. No, that's the legal standard. So you might not.
I don't understand how people can
concede you're backpedaling now. You know
nobody's backpedaling because
you're conceding you're backpedaling. The fucking garbage. He did not get hit with a car.
He's giving you the legal standard.
News talking point.
He did not get hit by a car.
Don't listen. I've never seen. I don't watch Fox.
Yeah, I
show me where in any of the videos where he gets touched with a car. Touched.
It's illegal from his point of view.
His federal law.
His cell phone video.
According
His cell
to
phone
the
video.
left.
His cell phone video.
According
If
to
anything,
the
not
left.
even.
I beg your pardon?
According to the left, a cop has to be run over, then the person has to back up over them.
Run over him again.
5 times
Yeah.
before the cop is allowed to
It's
shoot.
called the rule of 5, Alan. I've heard of
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Yeah.
According to them, if you see somebody, if you're a cop and somebody's driving at you, according to them, you don't have the right to shoot at them. That's the problem. That's why you're never going to convince truth that he was justified. It doesn't matter.
No, we
Let
don't
him go out
agree
in
that
real
she
life.
was
Let
driving.
him go out in real life.
Truth, this isn't with you now.
He
Let
was-
him talk.
he was-
No,
Well, no, he said my name.
He wasn't trying to hit her. No, he mentioned you to El Normo, is what he was doing.
You just made a distinction without a
Jump in
difference.
later.
I said he
You
said my
jump in
name.
and interrupt
I
everybody.
said he said my name.
Okay? Doesn't matter, you let him finish.
I didn't cut him off.
Okay? You did. You jumped in. So very fact, let's just truth. Me and you just truth. Can you tell me what the legal standards are for an officer to discharge his
I don't
weapon?
think he was done. I think we just interrupted his flow. I was just saying a little quick and then I was off. That's all I was doing.
Well, I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys backing up from the claim that he got hit with a car? Yes or no?
No, we're talking about a legal standard, and I understand you might not understand that, but you have to listen very carefully to what you're saying.
Show me any videos where his body contact car.
Okay, who said that? Sam, go look. There's multiple angles.
Look, I have one of them right here. The clearest one right here.
What,
the fact that you can see his feet planted on the ground, the tires pointing away from him, the gun smoke already shot. This is incontrovertible proof, bro. What are you talking about?
You know why?
You're better off making the argument that you thought he thought he was in danger or some shit like that.
You're better
off making that argument.
Because they told her 2 or 3 times, get out of the car. The moment she started backing up, he pulled out his gun because that's the defense against a moving suspect in a car. You're preparing yourself in case she lunges for you. And guess what? She lunged for him.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. So what?
She accelerated to
She absolutely did not.
She accelerated to drive away, bro.
You don't get to drive away.
And you don't get to shoot her. You
drive away. And he does get to shoot her. He
doesn't.
Yes, he does. If an officer tells him,
pretend they
if it, no.
No, I can tell this older guy.
Guys, you guys on the left.
Show me the video where you guys do
make it clear.
Alan.
To make it
Stop
clear.
fucking talking like a fucking old slow retard. Just show me the video where he gets hit with a car.
CM, I am.
Show me the video where he gets hit with a car.
I understand that the retard word might be you because maybe that's who you are, but you don't understand the legal authority of using your weapon.
You can make a better case that you could read his mind and he thought that was
the case is already
make that
no need to read his mind.
Make that